And so finally a win for the Brisbane Lions, and you can see the jubilation when the final siren sounded. They worked hard for this one, grit, determination, a physical clash, 13 points the margin. Cutler, Hanley and Bell 2 apiece. Pierce Hanley was outstanding for the Lions. Tom Lynch kicked 5 goals, an outstanding performance for the Gold Coast Suns. Hall, Ablett and Malcheski finding plenty of it. But Brownie, great to see the Brisbane Lions get on the board, and this was a clash that had some feeling, it had some spite, and they deserved it in the end.
Yeah, this is a really tough Q clash, local derby. Finally, the bad kicking from the Brisbane Lions didn't hurt them, and they were able to get the result. They did convert a little bit better in the second half. Crucial goal by Ryan Bastanak to seal the game late. But it was a great game. It was really high scoring from both sides, but Brisbane Lions looked like the dominant team for most of the night, Jace. I thought the Suns looked a little bit flat, but don't take anything away from the Lions.
Yeah, they threatened to kick themselves out of the Lions, but finally got the job done. But the big talking point to come out of it, obviously, will be the report of Stephen May for this bump on Steph Martin. Now, we know he's done a lot of things wrong because he's left the ground, he's run past the ball, and when you see it, the shoulder makes contact with the head, so he hasn't got any sort of defence whatsoever, has he?
He hasn't got a leg to stand on, Jay, so he did get suspended for hitting Tommy Rockcliffe last year when he broke his jaw. I thought he was unlucky in that one, but he's not unlucky. When you run past
I enjoyed seeing this post-game.
It's good sportsmanship there. And look, I don't think Stephen May meant to hurt him, of course. It's just one of those instinctive actions when the ball came.
Yep.
Both men were running hard at each other, and there's Pierce Hanley, the winner of the Mark Shashcroft medal, and well-deserved too, Jace.
Absolutely. He got better as the game went on. He kicked a couple of goals. He's great when he kicks them on the run. A little bit of trouble in front of the big sticks. But it was a fantastic performance tonight in Q Clash number 11. The Brisbane Lions have taken the count to 7-4 in their favour. They registered their first win of the season. In the end, the margin was 13 points.
We just need you to point out the games on the list that don't matter.
That don't matter. That don't matter?
That don't matter?
Yeah.
What do you mean that don't matter?
The games that don't matter.
You're obviously a joker.
No, there's none there. I don't see one. Okay, let me go to another club.
Could you point out the games to me that don't matter?
Nope.
We haven't got any that don't matter.
You're kidding, aren't you?
They all look pretty important.
Serious?
Don't matter.
Yeah, well, there aren't any on there, mate. They all matter. They all matter.
They all matter.
Yeah, no, they all count.
What's that, mate?
Because every game matters, Fox Footy brings you every one, every round, live in HD.
Every game of footy, right throughout the course of the year. We got them all on Fox.
Hello and welcome to Adelaide Oval in Adelaide. Used to be Football Park once upon a time. We're going to get stuck into a big game here tonight. Adelaide Crows in Sydney. Eddie Betts ready to fire, the Eddie Betts pocket, all go. And this team, the Sydney Swans, have shown this year that they are some sort of outfit. They could well be one of the teams to beat in 2016. They have got stars on every line. They're playing great football. And tonight is going to be a wonderful test between two of the exciting teams in the competition, Adelaide Crows and the Sydney Swans. Let's go to the Adelaide Oval, where we find Mark Rasciuto, the Mayor of Adelaide, standing alongside the King of the World himself, Dermot Brereton. Welcome, boys. It's going to be a great game tonight.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Well, you heard that, Roo. I think this is the best game of the round. It's a game of the match of the round.
Yeah, let's hopefully it lives up to expectations. Certainly the crowd have rocked up. There's over 50,000 here. The weather's perfect as well, Derm, so the skill should be at a premium.
Getting their last minute address here as they will just wander over to the start of the tunnel. They'll emerge from behind us, I reckon, in about 10-15 seconds. We have a look at the ins and outs. A big in.
Yeah, Tommy Lynch coming back. Missed last week with the birth of his little daughter Taylor. Kicked 6 the week before in the showdown. And Riley Knight, the unlucky player, to be omitted. But the chock-a-block at the moment, really got no injuries, Derm, except for Brad Crouch, and they're ready to go.
Well, they've got the number 1 scoring team in the comp. They're about to hit the oval here, and the crowd will go wild. I'm just a bit worried, Roo, about the fireworks that are about to happen. We've got all the pyrotechnics set up here in front of us.
It's going to be a big night, isn't it? There'll be fireworks in the first quarter too, if Sydney come out and play like they have in the first few weeks.
And the best contested ball winning team in the comp as well in Sydney.
Oh, they're tough. They got Kennedy, you got Jack, you got Parker, you got Mitchell, so that's as good a quartet as any centre square. And then you've got Hanbury on the outside and McVeigh and players like that. That midfield, I don't know how some people wrote them off at the start of the year, but they did.
That roar can only mean one thing, Roo. Your boys are on the way out. Here they come.
Here they come, Dad.
Hopefully you don't get a drive-by here from Tex. Have we got a bit of fire happening here, Roo? As you say, we might get a bit of fireworks early on. They are in exceptionally good nick. They've only dropped the 1 game this year so far, but they were very well performed in that one, and that was against North Melbourne, round 1.
Yeah, they won't get that one back, but since then they've been really good, knocking over the Power and Richmond. But tonight is Adelaide's biggest test. It's probably Sydney's biggest test as well, Derm.
Yeah.
They've knocked off Collingwood, they've knocked off Carlton, they knocked up GWS last week, but tonight I think Sydney and Adelaide will go head to head. There's some real balls in the middle. That'll be pivotal, but the forward lines of both sides have got some superstars. I can't wait to see who's going to kick the goals.
They certainly have. We've got a superstar out on the wing. He's the best analyst in the Cape, but David King.
I can't hear a thing, Derm. I don't even know what you just said, but these two teams are in unbelievable form. The undefeated Sydney Swans, and you've got the Adelaide Crows who are taking all before them. Had the 1 loss to North Melbourne that Eddie had earlier this season, but look at their assets. You've got the best ball movement team in the competition, the Adelaide Crows, coming against Sydney Swans, who are the best at denying their opposition ball movement. The Adelaide Crows are a scoring from turnover team. That's the profile that takes you all the way to premierships. The Sydney Swans are tough in tight. If you don't mix it with them at stoppages, they score. Clearly the best in the competition this season. As Dermy said, the number 1 attack versus the number 2 defence of 2016, the Sydney Swans. This has got to be one in tight and tough for me. You compete with the Sydney Swans at the clearances and you're in the game. If not, look out. Can't wait for this one to start, Derm.
Absolutely, Kingy. Well, we saw one of the great key forwards of the comp earlier today. He got 3 goals in the first quarter, Tommy Lynch. We got a couple of guns out here tonight, Roo. We got the big fella Buddy Franklin at one end and Big Tex at the other.
Yeah, certainly Buddy Franklin. I don't think there's a greater footballer to watch in the game than Buddy in full flight. And he's kicked some goals on Adelaide Oval too, and he kicked some goals against Adelaide in Sydney last year. He's back to his best. He's kicked 4 in each of the first 3 rounds. Up against probably Kurt Tippett tonight and Tex Walker, easing his way into the season, the big Tex, playing his role. Hasn't had his best footy yet, but the big stage has brought it out before.
Well, that's the luxury that Adelaide have at the moment. Tex isn't in his absolute best form, but they've got other blokes filling the void. They've got Jenkins, they've got Betts, they've got the lot, and the rest of the city is making their way in to see this magnificent matchup here tonight between the Adelaide Crows and the Sydney Swans. After the break, Anthony Hudson will be your caller here from Adelaide Oval. It's the Crows up against the Swans.
Well, a massive night here at the Adelaide Oval. A beautiful night for footy. Kurt Tippett, when he played 104 games for the Adelaide Crows, was very popular, but his departure was not. He returns tonight, and we expect the crowd to let him know their thoughts. And the crowd have got some interesting views, or at least these people have, perched up as high as you can get. It's either the best or the worst seat in the house, depending on your perspective. They will have a very interesting perspective over the whole ground. And what a game it should be. Hard one to tip, David King. Which way have you leaning as we're only minutes away from the start of this game?
Don't follow my tips, Hud. I'm having a horrible year, but the conditions down here are absolutely perfect for football, as you'd expect. We expect to be a little bit dewy later on. There's no cloud cover in tonight. This will be one at the clearances, and we talked about the omission of Cam Sinclair through an infection in his toe. Nankervis gets his opportunity. Centre-bounce clearance is all important. Sinclair has been fantastic this season. Got to be able to compete with the Swans in the clearances. Even when you win them, to get that first possession into a clearance is a real difficult thing to do against the Swans. They're so tackle hardened and ready to go at the absolute coalface. That'll be the challenge for the Crows tonight. I can't wait for this one, Hunter. This will be a beauty.
So who did you tip, Kingy?
I think Sydney will just be too tough and too clinical around the action. But if the game's on the outside, we know how fast and how fleet of foot the Crows have been so far this year with their all-conquering forward 50 work. I just can't wait. It's really hard to tip, but the heart says go with the Swans.
All right, Derm and Mark Rashuda also alongside me here in commentary. Boys, you've made your way back up from down on the ground. Fantastic fields. We walked across Derm to the game. What a venue it is. I know we always wax lyrical when we're here, but it makes such an impact when you come here.
Just for those interstaters, be it West Australian, Queenslanders or Victorians, if you get the chance to come over and see your team, if you can get hold of a ticket, it really is one of the great stadiums now. And this team's playing wonderful football, committed football. Gee, I've written them up, Roo, since round one, the Adelaide Crows. Their pressure is exceptional. Their goal-kicking talent and prowess up forward is through the roof. They're just a very watchable team.
I think what Don Pike's done as well, guys, they were 17th best in the competition, so the 17th worst, if you like, for skills. They've turned that around and now are one of the highest skilled sides in the competition, but they are up against a side who put more pressure on than perhaps anyone tonight. So can their skills hold up under pressure? That'll be really thrilling to watch, and gee, it's just going to be a cracker. Kurt Tippett in the middle, jumping up against Sauce Jacobs. That's going to be a big contest in itself. We see Talia go down to Buddy Franklin.
Love that, Roo. Yeah, I love that. Buddy's gone to the goal square with Talia, and he said to the other 5 forwards, just get out of the way, clear off, go up the other end of the field, get out of my space.
It'll be interesting when Tippett goes down there, how much he can stretch the Adelaide defence.
So we're ready to get it on at the Adelaide Oval. It is the Crows hosting the Swans. The Swans have a dominant record against the Crows and indeed Port in recent times here in Adelaide. They seem to love the trip to the city of churches, and they're going forward. And there's the big lumbering man Curvis coming into the side for Sinclair tonight.
I like his competitiveness, Dan Curvis. He's not Polly Farmer. He's not going to win you a game off his own boot, but they love the fact that he has a real dip at the opposition.
Well, if he can do that in the ruck, then the in and unders just have to be at the feet, and that's predictable.
Just his 6th game he comes in for. Tippett doing the ruck work, as we said at the start, and doing so here. And there is that welcome for him from the Adelaide fans. Scotty Thompson playing his 250th game in Adelaide colours tonight after coming across from the Demons. Here's Franklin and Talia. First crack at it. And the great support for Buddy Franklin. The big wraparound tackle came from Dan Robinson. And forces the ball up so close to goal. Tippett got it down. And the tackling from Cunningham was excellent. The umpire let them play for a bit longer. And now he's going to play holding the ball. Tough call on Rory Atkins.
Harry, around here. Boys, 10 metres. 10 metres.
Cunningham to have the shot. Harry Cunningham has kicked 3 goals, 1 in his 3 games this year. Just the 9 possessions last week. This one should go through. We've seen some wayward kicking this round, but that's not a problem. And Sydney make the fine start.
The profile's good for Harry Cunningham there, isn't it? 22 years of age, playing his 57th game. So he's just ready to come of age now, be coming of age. Great tackle. Good, powerful, strong tackle. Takes his man down without a slam into the ground with the head, so it's legal. One in, Sammy. Pinged and goal.
So opening goal to the Swans.
Eddie Betts coming in off the back of the square here, looking to flush right through.
Crows unable to get their hands on the footy cleanly so far. McGlynn let it pass. Jack felt Seedsman. He was all over him.
Pretty strong tackle there by Seedsman.
The crowd will want.
Let's have a look at this one. Jack goes low and did well not to give a free kick against.
He dropped the ground.
Oh, that's a skill, if you want to call it that players are doing these days.
Saved him on holding the ball though.
Heaney got them going. Jack kicks them inside 50. And this man is in outstanding form, Tom Mitchell. Started inside forward 50.
Good kick.
Kicked some goals last week. Bangs it up for Franklin. Oh, he had the stellar position. Just couldn't take the mark. And through for a behind. So Cheney at fullback. That last line. Blasting it outside defensive 50. Tippett gets to the front, improvised pretty smartly, got it inside. Talia, McLean. Buddy out of position this time. Cheney, old teammates at Hawthorn.
Would have stood each other in a few internal scratch matches.
He's played deliberate.
Now, I watched Buddy while we were out in the ground, Roo, and I've never seen him hit them sweeter.
Righto. Oh.
So the odds just got greater for him to kick this goal.
For me, putting him off now.
Around the corner. And too
but
far.
he was set shotting it, not like that. He is hitting them sweetly, beautifully off the foot.
Amazing stats through Buddy for the first 3 weeks.
Identical.
18 disposals and 4 goals in 3 consecutive games. Jenkins now, first chance maybe to have a look at how this Adelaide forward line will function. That's again a tough call, the no 15, Crouch.
That's not 10.
Crows not as convincing early as they have been in the past fortnight. Sydney have really taken the initiative though, so here's a chance for Adelaide.
Well, the press was good when it's deep, but now they've got them in a one-on-one.
And one's just been able to sneak out, but it's gone too far. Nothing Atkins could do. So it's Franklin's ball into the 50. Wasn't the best of disposal. Smith, who generated so much on the charge, out of defence last week. Sloan had the rush to kick. They're outnumbered. Walker didn't seem interested in the footy. Wanted to tip it to wear one early. They've got the numbers at the back. Rampy has become a fine defender for them. Teaming up with the old man River. Richards kicks it a little wide. And out on the full.
Kingy, it just looks from up here in this opening minutes, it's a bit of a sliding defence and that by Sydney in their own forward line. When it's deep, they play a space lock-in, and once it gets about 50 metres out, they go man-on-man down the line.
Yeah, spot on, Dermond. Their ability to put pressure on the ball carrier is what saves this back six.
Taylor Walker, beautiful clean mark.
McGovern.
Got it into McGovern, just on the brink, you would think.
Jenkins is... He's on the move, he's not going to get to this.
He's trying to get it to Betts. And fisted strongly over the line. Nick Smith will be watching Eddie Betts, and that will be some matchup.
Yeah, sure will. All-Australian defender up against superstar small forward.
One of the last classic small defenders who's really good at the job too.
Jacobs got it down. Kennedy, Jack, and then Smith forced onto a scrambling right boot, but he's done it pretty well.
Oh, well done.
Toby comes across then Curvis and sees it out.
Roo, that's 5 clearances in a row to the Sydney Swans. If you can't compete in tight and tough, you just won't be able to hang with them on the scoreboard.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one, Kingy.
There's John Longmire, the coach, watching on. Be pleased with what he's seen so far. Tippett gets it to ground. Kennedy and Mitchell.
This is dicey. Oh, the crowd are screaming for the equality decision, considering the one that yielded a goal at the other end of the ground.
Tippett again fending it down. And he flashing through.
It's a good play, that kid, isn't he?
Thompson had the numbers at the back. Atkins in support. Did well. Didn't rush at the disposal. Thought there's a chance to get inside, and there was.
Lost him.
And that was a superb bit of play. And Taylor Walker, now with the footy, can go back to skipper and pop it through.
Just good body movement there by Tex. Richards just lost him in a little swivel of the body and got a metre from that. Was able to jump at the ball, and Richards was left wondering what happened.
Good play too by Atkins.
Hasn't been kicking great this year, Big Tex.
He's a beautiful kick.
Ken poking him a bit closer.
2, 2 and 3 for the season. He likes it from there. That's right through the middle for Adelaide's first.
Yeah, Hutto, Atkins did the work there. He was the one who gave the sleight of hand, because as David King told us in the pre-match, Sydney is so good at putting pressure on, but he just held on to the ball so he could execute a little bit better. A little bit of sleight of hand, a little bit of a sidestep. He turned...
Be disappointed.
He turned Ted around then, didn't he? Yeah. Got him just on a little tiny hook lead.
hoping for a big one tonight. Tex hasn't had a big start to the season, but loves the big stage.
Part of a very talented and multi-pronged forward line. Tom Lynch returning for tonight to add to their weaponry. And important from an Adelaide point of view that they do come out and be very competitive. I mentioned their record. Their last 4 games against Adelaide Sydney, they've won by 52 points, 63, 77 and 29. It's a stunning dominance.
Oh, well done.
Parker, one of the informed players in the competition. Heaney, Cheney. Oh. It rhymes. And it was poetry in motion for the Swans.
That was brilliant football.
It was better commentary.
It was better commentary. You've been practicing that all flight over it. Let's have a look. There's a real tough effort in the centre square just to try and get it out. Look at that by Parker. Great stuff. Looked like Cheney was going to take the mark here. Then Heaney just got his hand to it. Great little flick pass almost. Don't know if it was a handball or not, but got to the desired location. And a goal by McLean.
A couple of our unbiased cameramen down below are saying that was a throw, that was a throw.
He almost missed it.
Too late.
Sydney lead by 8. Back where it all begins, in the middle. McKay jumping in for the tackle.
Gee, they're in hard in the middle.
But look at the release from Tippett and Kennedy and Hanbury. Gee, he kicked it so swiftly. Maybe had a little bit more time to get poised. Hardigan to return it for Adelaide.
Thompson's broken wide.
He has just manoeuvred himself out to the wing.
So we got Jenkins wanting to play closer to goal. Tex is going up on the next line. Now he's done a bit of a handover here, and Jenkins is forward of him.
Richards gets to the front, and Grundy stripped of it. Crowd appealing, but the Swans are on the move again. Hanbury, Grundy, McGlynn couldn't quite hang on. Crows were there ready to pounce. McGovern initially, then Miller and Atkins, and McGovern again, some of the youngsters. Smith's drifted forward, and he's gone.
They had downhill skiers all the way to the goals. All they had to do was just snap kick one forward, and they were running into an open square.
Cunningham tries to kickstart the Swans. Lloyd, who's become a significant player for them after 25 disposals last week. Talia won the mini battle against Franklin. Every win's a good one against Buddy. Comes away again. And now Crouch, awkward handball. It hung for a while. They're out. They're sort of out. Through the head back.
He did get clipped.
Probably was there, but he certainly made sure the umpire saw it, Brodie Smith. They got their defence set really well, though. Grundy's back right in the hole at the moment.
And he's got the angles right there with Talia. And now the runner out of defence is Laird. He's been an outstanding player for them the last 18 months. Atkins.
Great tackle.
Couldn't see off the tackle of Parker. He can do it all, Luke Parker. Heaney waiting, and Parker kept on coming. And now Rampy waits. And waits some more. Heaney. Big squeeze is on here. And he's able to control it well back for Towers. Switch was tempting for him.
Good kick.
Mills on the second bite, takes it. Drives it long. Robinson from behind. The contact was good. Well done from Hardigan to hit back. Laird with the clean-up. And it's out.
We talked about Sydney's pressure coming into the game, being the best in the competition up against Adelaide's skills. Every time Adelaide are getting the ball at the moment, they haven't got as much time and space as what they've had the last few weeks, and just finding it harder to move the ball from defence into attack at the moment because of Sydney's good work.
Luke Parker already up to 5 disposals for the Swans. Jacobs having to do it at ground level. Delicate little situation here for the Swans. They've been forced back to the middle. Adelaide pick it up like that. Miller, they're on. Charging through the middle. Jenkins, a paddock and a handball. McGovern, vacant goal square. Miller is hot-footing it back to the goal square. But gee, that was good, clear thinking. He didn't rush. And he's decided just to poke the pass out wide for the Lions.
Probably struggle to be right on his edge, kicking from outside 50.
So he doesn't have the shot, and that's not well placed. Although Lynch suddenly came from the side, and he's drawn a free in front of goal.
Let's have a look at that one. Looked a bit soft. Dermot, I don't know if you saw anything, but
Oh, he got contact above the head, but a lot of the time when you've got two blokes with their arms up above their head going for the ball, you tend to let them go. It's whether he actually drags it over the shoulder after the action.
Here he comes.
Attempt of
Let's
marking.
have a look. Didn't look like he was in the contest, and I got a smack on the head.
He's got a little slap.
7 goals, 1 for the season. And the accuracy continues for Tom Lynch. Welcome back to the team. Did you say his daughter's name's Taylor?
Well, I think so, yeah. Is that right?
Is that sucking up to the captain or not?
Well, there's been a bit of banter about that during the week, yeah. You shouldn't need to do that after you kick 6 in the showdown, but look at that pickup from Miller. That was beautiful. That's the one that set it up. And then from there, they really just had to not make a mistake. They nearly did here. McGovern sort of got cornered in, but in the end, he was good enough to get it to lines. This kick didn't look good off the boot. Lynch comes out of nowhere, creates a contest and gets rewarded. Been on fire, Tommy Lynch, for the last year and a bit.
It's good hit up forward, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just keeps presenting. The back line come out, they're under pressure, and he fills up the viewfinder on the lead. Good jump.
And Curvis in to combat Jacobs. Let's see if it stymies the Swans at all. Jack got a half-distance kick. And Curvis' follow-up was good. Mitchell, as I mentioned, averaging 30 disposals a game almost.
Wow.
And that's the sort of pressure that Adelaide need to apply. They're going to stop this Swans.
Who was that? That was Laird, wasn't it?
It was Laird into Kennedy. Could have been a rib breaker.
Took off from his opponent, and that was Benny McGlynn, just to make sure that he choked that ball right where it landed.
Pull it forward. Hanbury again with the quickest of hands. And that trend continues. Hanbury on the end of it to try and finish what he started. This is to the left.
Gee, that was good. That was very good, Tim.
Seriously slick play there.
This is the problem for the Swans. They're 8-2 in front of the clearances, but only 3 points on the scoreboard. It's been a complete dominance in tight and tough, and even they're losing that first opportunity, their pressure's winning it back for them.
Kicking at 44%, King, that might have something to do with it up against Adelaide's 85%.
He's got a couple of worries here, Don Pike. Inside 50's 310, even though he's only 3 points down. He's -7 on the inside 50s. They got him on the rebound going the other way.
Last week, some of their transition with long kicking was outstanding and was able to work. The umpires stopped them from going forward.
Yeah, there was a Crows player around the mark. I think when you look back the last few weeks, the one thing for the Crows, they've conceded a lot of inside 50s. I know Port Adelaide had 70 in the showdown, so they have been able to stand tall.
They're averaging 60 a game conceding, which is, I think, 3rd worst in the competition, yet they're almost on top of the ladder.
We'll talk about it in a second. It's against what we thought about at the start of the year.
Eddie Betts, he was coming, but Grundy, as he's done so many times, worked the angles with great expertise, and again he's involved. Smith on the way out for the Swans, waiting. He didn't have anything long. That's where his eyesight was.
Kick.
And closer on the horizon was Franklin, and now the pumping handball from Parker may have been a little overly ambitious. Sloan wins it back for the Crows. Good slog in the middle. Robinson piles on in, and we have ourselves a ball up in the middle of the ground. We've got ourselves a contest on Saturday night footy.
Yeah, a few hard nuts there. Rory, Sloan, Kieran, Jack going really hard in there, and no damage done. Good contest.
Sort of stuff you'd love, I reckon, Root.
Yeah, for 5 minutes until I was tired after that, but these boys will go all night. Look at Sloaney.
And Curvis. Oh, the ups down his backside.
Good job.
As Lloyd comes away for the Swans. Franklin against 2. Talia just got a little bit of help at the last minute, but he's done an outstanding job to defy Buddy for the moment. Delicate little handball, and it's just not quite coming together for the Swans forwards there. Brown, part of this very strong Adelaide defence. They're going to be thoroughly tested tonight. Kick goes wide from Jacobs in haste. And it's coming back again.
You may hear the crowd get involved here as Kurt Tippett's just about to come back onto the ground from his first break. They gave a nice little send-off when he came off.
Get a bit of free advice there, Kingy.
Back to Grundy, and now the pressure builds. Hurry kick up.
I think he saw Thompson. Thought he was free.
Yeah, maybe didn't see the 2 Swans players that were escorting him close to the line. Richards and Rampy, who's quite often prepared to take that adventurous kick. And he did there too for Grundy. Look what it's created.
Oh, they're off here. They got plenty of options.
Smith can wind up. Calculated kick to the wing. Tough for Towers, and now it's coming back the other way. Sloan scrappy, but gets to lines. He wanted a handball. Looked up. His mate McKay wasn't ready for him. And so the Swans are able to take it away through Mitchell.
That was so well done by Hartigan to come off his man and be the third man up and spoil that ball, kill it.
Did well there, Parker, up against a lot taller lever.
What a player he's become, his 8th disposal. Cheney again back with the flight.
Push against Buddy.
That's created by the hard work by Cheney, because Cheney saw that Franklin was a one out, so he sprinted back to be the extra. Franklin saw that he was going to get shepherded out,
50 against Buddy,
and he just gave away the free kick. So well worked by Cheney there.
It's the 10-metre rule. Players still getting used to it. It is different. You have to get away from the ball. It's a different rule.
Eddie's one out in the goal square with Rampy. Is he going to go for him or not?
Long way.
Three-quarter kick. Here comes Eddie. Walker was there. Free kick goes to Betts.
That's what happens, Roo, when you charge at the ball. Sometimes, if they've seen you, if your opponent has seen you take big marks and charge at the ball and mark it high off the ground, they can get a little panicky on the spoil and try and edge you under it. A little bit of a hand in the back. Let's have a look and see if there's a hand in the back here. On the shoulder. On the shoulder.
9 goals, 5 for the season for Eddie Betts.
He likes the spot.
Yeah, he's in double figures now. And the Crows are in front at the Adelaide Oval for the first time.
Well, Roo, this is the Sydney Swans playing pretty well around the ground, and then Adelaide somehow are in front. This is a really good standard game. Yeah,
that's what set it up, wasn't it, Buddy? Just got caught there. He thought the old rule, if they call play on, you can get there and tackle him, but that set up the attack. On fire, Eddie Betts. Taylor Walker said before the year that he may just have a better year this year again, which is a big call after what he did in 2015.
Look at the kicking efficiency numbers. Disparity is stark, and it's one of the main reasons Adelaide are in front. Sloane digging in early. He's got a big night ahead of him against this powerful Swans midfield, which is whipping into action now. Hanbury drives it down the line. It was an outstanding collect from Towers. The rest wasn't so good, though. Free kick and advantage. Seedsman charging away, full head of steam through the middle. Had to change direction slightly, maybe put him off. Gives it back to Laidler, and he's got options. Robinson busting a gut, running hard to the wing. Heaney long, McGlinnan short. I don't think McGlinnan was ready for that.
Poor kick, he kicked it off the instep and just hit it wrong.
Now Jenkins has to react. Oh, he did, shrug the shoulders and just a little flick of disdain. Kicks them back to the wing. Busy intersection there from all angles. Crouch went with the ball, could be in trouble here. No.
Sure, you
rolled
over.
He'd
be stiff getting pinned for that. Now Kieran Jack looks a bit wobbly there. Matt Crouch went in at 100 mile an hour.
He's in trouble, Roo.
I'll tell you what, to hurt Kieran Jack, that was against Jenkins.
Yeah, he just turned side on.
Might have hit his
It was Kieran Jack's pace that did the damage.
Grundy, the little delicate tap for Mills, and Eddie took it off him. They couldn't see him flashing through. Gets it out wide for Sloane, just beyond the 50, and it was always going to be a difficult kick. Now Lloyd comes hard, and it goes off hands.
He's coming from the ground, Kieran Jack. He's not all there at the moment, just needs a short break on the bench to be assessed by the medical staff. You can just see him making his way up in the field just there. Just not quite right at the moment.
Well, to cop the hip to the scone, I reckon.
A little jar of the old smelling salts to fix that one up, Roo. Did you ever have a crack at them?
He's had a few knocks over the years too, Kieran. Let's hope he's all right.
That's something that's on the way out, the old smelling salts, given the care we have to take now for concussion. In the old days, we got concussed and they put those horrible salts under your nose and woke you up and they sent you back out.
He looks a little bit wobbly there, Kieran Jack.
Sloane for Jenkins. And still the lead, a slender 3 points here. We're getting closer to quarter time, but still 5 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Sloane in the thick of it again. Douglas, Crouch. Invented a handball for Miller, but Henry beat him to the punch. And now McVeigh back in the team, the co-captain, and they can sprint off half back. Franklin versus Talia. They'll be at it all night. Cheney this time gets away. Talia.
Good footy there by Adelaide, down the back line to work that out.
Game's changed a bit.
Hartigan to centre half forward. Lynch presenting as he does so well. Eddie Betts holds his ground deep. Again, the kick was somewhere in between, and Jenkins was the first to react.
If you use the ball well through the half back line and keep it moving and get it to the midfield and allow your midfielders to have space one-on-one like they did there. There was 2 players from each side in the forward 50. From there on, if you're good enough to execute the kick, your defender has little hope in stopping it.
I love this aspect for Adelaide Crows, and that is Jenkins forward, forcing Tippett to defend on him. And he looked completely lost as a defender there, trying to stop Jenkins' movement.
Pushed it right. It'll let off for the Swannies.
Josh Jenkins has been accurate this year. 10 goals, 3 going into this game. Kicked 2 against the Swans last year in round 18. On a night when they're going in the...
good work in tight, Sydney.
Swans dominated. Mitchell off half-back. Here we go, one-on-one again. Franklin in front of Taylor has just done enough. Laird's handball missed the mark, though. And McGlynn bursting towards goal. Swans are back in front.
Said 15 seconds ago the game's changed.
Oh, it's changed again. That was really good work. I mean, Jenkins misses a goal, gives Sydney an opportunity. Great bit of work in tight from a lever ball by Sydney. They're just so good in tight. There's Buddy, should have taken the mark. Laird thought he was giving it to Brodie Smith. McGlynn cuts it off and just finishes off really, really well. Good goal, Sydney. How often when you miss a goal, boys, it goes straight down the other end.
Ben McGlynn back for his first game last week. One of 9 players over 27 years of age, the Swans. The difference this year is they've got 7 players 21 and under.
Kieran Jack's been taken downstairs for further assessment, guys. It's not looking too flash for tonight for Kieran, unfortunately.
Hanbury dug it out of there, only as far as Hartigan, and the Crows are on the move again. Walker and Richards this time in combat. Well done, Rampy. Came sweeping through. Mills rushed, but got the kick to Heaney. 2 of their boom youngsters. He's given it everything to get it towards full forward. It's gone right out the back, and well read that time by Cheney. He would have been a bit nervous knowing that Luke Parker is such a good jump.
Yeah, he's been good tonight so far, Cheney.
Made 2 early blues, 1 out of bounds and 1 pinged for deliberate, but he's been solid since those 2 moments.
Heaney takes the mark. A flash of blonde hair. Kicks it towards full forward. Taylor in front.
Oh, good take.
It was. McGlynn just looked as if he was going to run through and put through another goal on the board.
You see Isaac Heaney, he's just sitting off the back of this again. He's been a little ability to get by himself in the last 30 seconds. He's done it again, the ump.
Toughing it out. And now here's Atkins. Off the left boot for Douglas. Was that a free? It was against Mills.
He's going to clear him. The ball had cleared him anyway.
Probably switch here, will they?
He's got numbers to do so.
Douglas decides to stay along that wing. Atkins with the mark. Swans leading by 2.
Move it on. Play on.
Opening term, a big Saturday night packed house at the Adelaide Oval.
Play on.
Laidler got the fist on it. Kennedy. Grundy. Into the clear and up to half forward. Atkins, the man with the fist. McGlynn. Here's Mitchell again. Big kick. Tippett. Crowd won't like it. Oh, they do like that. He got the mark under some duress. And away again from Hartigan. Seedsman. Bit of a face-off there with Heaney. Laird comes running. And now they've got this charge. Lever waiting, beckoning, saying, come to me. And no one did. On the bounce, it's Richards. And takes it over with a nice little stumble and bumble and gets it safely to the haven of the boundary.
Well, on that occasion there, you are better off fumbling. You don't want to take it and run over. Here's Tippett. Could have had a goal.
He went for the hand fend off first.
Yep.
Just need to read the ball in the air. Hands to the ball, mark the ball.
Mitchell again. Kennedy maybe held for a little while. Heaney Challenged by Lyons. Making the most of his opportunity in the last couple of weeks. Betts, and now Crouch. Waiting again. Didn't rush it. Smith hasn't been able to get the same liberty so far tonight, and he's turned that one over. Dane Rampy takes the mark and decides just to take the air out of it for a moment.
Only a minute to play.
Back down the line. Parker's ready to roll for a big mark. Cheney was onto it.
Great take again.
The reflex is outstanding from Kennedy. Tippett's waiting for the high ball from Hanbury. This is going to test Hartigan. Tippett up in the air. He's done it again. Hartigan. Tippett just can't find it at the moment.
Yeah, he's not having much luck up there, just with the reading of the play and the use of Hartigan's body. But I tell you what, the Sydney inside mids are just having a field day in tight. They're reading off the punch, and the hands has been spectacular.
Well, it's 18-7. Sorry, Kingy.
How good was that from Kennedy on the wing in front of you there, Roo? Just his reflexes.
18-7, the inside 50s. And yet Adelaide find themselves only 3 points behind. I think for that they can be pretty thankful as we head to quarter time. But Rosebery decided to let them play, and they found a way out of there. Mitchell, important touch from Jacobs. Thompson, good backup. McKay just got it onto the boot, manufactured something. I think everyone happy to see it over the line and out of bounds. At quarter time at the Adelaide Oval. Expectations high tonight, and we certainly haven't been let down in the opening term.
What happened there?
We had a bad siren. The siren's actually gone.
They haven't heard it.
They haven't heard it.
Well, there was 4 seconds on the clock when it went.
Thankfully, there's no score.
Well, thankfully, he didn't take the mark.
Yeah, well, it could have been all sorts of dramas.
Yeah.
So after all the confusion, we'll go again.
Quarter
time here at the Adelaide Oval. And it is the Sydney Swans. Played so well here since it's become the home of AFL in Adelaide. Yet to lose. At the moment, their lead is marginal, just 3 points at quarter time. Well, a big contest, and it's a tough old game, as Kieran Jack found out in the first quarter. You can get hurt in many different ways, with or without the footy, and it's going to be interesting to hear the latest on Kieran Jack. At quarter time, Sydney lead by 3 points here at the Adelaide Oval. They've dominated in terms of opportunities inside their forward 50, haven't always capitalised. 3-4-22 to 3-1-19. Dan Hanbury with 12 disposals in that opening term. What'd you make of it all, boys?
Oh, look, they were sensational early. Sydney just in and under, Derm. I think it was 9-1 in clearances for a while. It was 5-zip. Ended up being 9 all, so Adelaide sorted out whatever was going wrong there. But Sydney's hands in tight are really setting up their forward 50 entries.
Let's get down to David King.
Well, Kieran Jack's been taken downstairs for the concussion assessment, but this game's been won in tight and tough, and we spoke about when Sydney Swans lose that initial first possession, their ability to wrestle the ball back, to tackle strong and force immediate turnover and then counter-punch quickly. We see here Scotty Thompson get his hands on the ball, but before you know it, he's mauled and mobbed by that enormous Sydney midfield, those bigger bodies that won't take no for an answer. They get it forward and they create another score. As Roo said, they won 9 of the first 10 clearances, but since then, the Crows have bounced back to win the last 8. Game on.
It's amazing to read the stats, though. It's hard to get a hold on contested possessions. Adelaide hold +4, yet they're -7 on overall possessions and -10 on inside 50s. They're almost contradicting each other, these statistics that we're getting the readouts on.
Well, early in that quarter, Adelaide's kicking efficiency was outstanding, and Sydney's the reverse, but it's almost equalised by quarter time. So maybe it's going to be one of those games of momentum, of control for a little period, and then trying to restrict the other team when they're winning the footy. We'll find out. We're into the second term at the Adelaide Oval. A beautiful night in the city of churches, and what a contest as Jacobs slaps it down, charging through Thompson, but it comes to Lyons. He helps himself and gets them inside 50. Lynch and Rampy. Lynch decided to keep on his feet. Rampy hassling all the way and wins the ball.
Searching for a metre there, Tommy Lynch, and Rampy wouldn't give him half a metre. He was really good there, really good.
And Rampy now 25 years of age. Oh! Heaney, the skills he possesses, takes a lovely mark, sends it Franklin's way. Yet to kick a goal. You know, he's kicked 4 goals in each of the first 3. of the season. He's bombed that one up. And Curvis and Tippett will come late with a big fly, but Jacobs was there to make it more difficult for him. McKay, the lightning hands, outstanding. Miller after the fumble, okay. To Brown, an outstanding way to run out of defence. Smith charging away. He's had 3 bounces. He was bereft of options, had to wait and then try and invent something across the body. Jenkins might get a free here.
Now that is Brodie Smith's run and carry, got it to a one-on-one forward. That's the invaluable asset of somebody with foot speed and the ability to run and carry the ball.
Just about have a ping here, Jenkins.
What at?
Preferably goals. He got the distance fine. He just didn't think it through properly.
Let's have a look at this grab. And he has a look down at his opponent right about just now. He's taken that one over.
Lever.
Jakey Lever.
That would have hurt too. That was at speed.
Not 15. Rude awakening for Rampy and Eddie. Had it in his sights.
That is a tough call, isn't it?
Well, is that 15 or not where that is? It's pretty close.
I tell you what, that is very close to 15.
Well, the edge of the goal line to the point post is 7 metres, within a couple of millimetres or so.
So they're
Is it double that and one?
Using that as a reference.
They've done 2 of those calls already tonight. So
this is Eddie from his pocket, and that's why it is.
And he shows the crowd.
Adelaide back in front, courtesy of Eddie Betts.
If you have a seat in that pocket, you're probably on first name terms with Eddie by now.
Yep.
They should have a plaque over there. There should be a plaque.
What a great tackle, though. And he just puts the face clamp on him. I like that umpiring.
Well, the players will know now, won't they?
Yeah.
They'll know that kick in, if it's not far enough, you've got to be ready.
Yeah, I like that umpiring. Too often in our game, the bloke claims the mark and the umpire applies the feel sorry for him rule and says, give it to me, he didn't have any chance to get rid of it.
Marginal call too high. Nick Smith, now Tippett's got away here. He'll look out, he's got Heaney deep, he's got Curvis close. Go for Heaney, Papley late, Heaney commanding in the air and so close to taking the mark.
Gee, he had that all in front of him there, Heaney. He's a live wire forward.
It's only 184
Have a look
centimetres.
at this. He was clear. Just when he landed on Brown, it jolted the hands.
Douglas got it out of there. Laidler sets it up. Anyone want to run and jump and take a screamer at that one? Kennedy not usually jumping too high. Papley tries to put the tackle on. Tippett helps him out.
He stripped him.
He's hurt himself here. He's hurt his left knee, I think, being dragged to the ground.
Who, Tippett, is it?
He's getting up okay.
Yeah, he's all right. Brown, I think it was. Root.
Yep, in the tackle just before the end play there. Oh, take it with you.
Douglas, and now Seedsman has a crack at it.
Play on.
It's hard to find clear space there. Laird manufactured a kick back to the wing, but Grundy. And now Nick Smith, the wind up on the left. It's a low kick, so it was good for someone who got the early read, and that someone was Cunningham.
It is very hard and very tough in tight. You've seen Adelaide. You saw Richie Douglas just fumble back there before. I know you picked it up, Dermot. We saw Miller a fumble just before that. I think all the players realise now when they go to get the ball, they have to take it clean. There is pressure on the ball carrier at the moment, but Cunningham here could put him in front.
Talk about Jenkins' starting position after this kick.
Cunningham for his second goal. It's close, and that'll do.
Hang on, I think they're saying it's snicked the post.
Well, Lever certainly...
he's gone for the footy to kick it in.
Yeah, he's very positive.
The ball's hit the goalpost.
So if it's not definitive, it stays a goal.
Lever's either a very good bluffer or...
Just come back.
Yeah,
I reckon that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that hits. That's not going to first slip, but somewhere between the keeper and first.
Get this angle. Yeah. Or is it just going behind?
Well, you see the shade go onto the post. See there? You can't get any close. If the shade's on the post, you think it's slipped. From behind, it looks like it gets a deviation. But this one, not so much.
Decided it is behind.
And just on the Josh Jenkins thing, the one thing Reg Grundy loves doing is playing from behind, working his man underneath it. So if he's playing down the line, he's got to give himself time to get to where the ball drop is, minus how long the hang time of the kick is. He was too close. Grundy controlled the back spot, took the mark, edged him under it.
Walker got enough of that. Now down the line for Thompson. Man, what a handball. Okay, thumps it forward. Miller against Mills. Free kick, arm over the shoulder.
Kid's got talent by foot, Roo. What are you thinking?
Look, he is a very highly skilled player. I haven't seen him kick goals on Saturday night football with a massive TV audience watching, but everything he does pretty well for a first-year player. Let's have a look at this one. Just a sloppy one by Nick. He'll be unhappy about that. I'm sure John Longmire wouldn't have been pumped seeing that one in the coach's box inside the forward 50.
They've kicked most of their goals on the run this year, the Crows. They've kicked less percentage of goals, about 32% from set shots, than any other team. I mean, just so much run and dash and long goals last week we saw from outside 50. Under pressure, Mitchell did what he could, which was just jam it on the boot and get it out of there, and it ends okay.
Buddy's got one-on-one with Talia if he wants to give him a go, but...
Dean Towers.
His hands aren't great at the moment, Buddy. We've seen him grass a couple already.
Very keen to keep possession. If they don't go to Buddy one-on-one like that, that's a instruction by the coach to make sure you only kick the ball unless you think the player can mark it clearly. Good kick.
Down the line, he just took something off it, didn't he? And it allows Towers to take the mark. They're calling for it one-on-one. Down to Talia. Here we go. 1v1. Number one couldn't take it in front.
Gee, that could hurt.
Done enough. Hardigan, Miller, he can send it charging forward. He ran into trouble. Seedsman was on the spot to provide some relief. He's outnumbered. Good stuff by Hanbury. Good counterpunch by the Swans. Crows trying to win it back again. In goes Seedsman. In goes Walker. It's willing stuff. Crouch. Desperate handball at the back. Heaney got it to the boot as swiftly as he could. Franklin and Talia and Tippett. Franklin, last man standing, out of my way. Dribbles it through for a goal. He's on the board.
Good to watch the Budster. Hasn't been catching him clean, but always in the action. And he's getting himself in space one-on-one with Talia. And it won't be a matter of time like that one where he just gets hold of the ball. That's a battle of strength there. Too strong. And just got his foot the ball just in time.
He moves beautifully, doesn't he?
His last three contests against Daniel Talia has yielded 0, 3 and 3 goals. He's a fine defender, but Buddy, when he's going, is unstoppable.
His hands actually still pretty poor tonight. That was a chest mark again.
Gee, they're good, Sydney and tight.
And that's Kieran Jack back out there again, Roo. Wow. Good to see him back out in the ground.
Kennedy. Papley was coming one way, Heaney the other. Heaney takes it and sees off Cheney and dabs the pass to Hanbury.
He's their best lead up forward.
Heaney. Yeah, he's on fire tonight.
He's playing like a good size centre forward. He's 184 centimetres. He may as well be 190.
Good in the air, good on the ground, agile.
He comes at the footy.
Dan Hanbury has already amassed 12 disposals tonight. Just one behind to his name so far. 3 goals, 4 for the year. That one is working. That one definitely hit the post.
Yep. It was his first touch of the second quarter, 10 minutes in, so had it all in the first quarter, all dozen.
Felt confident enough to call that one, Anthony?
I think so.
This time round.
Still the leading possession winner on the ground, as you said, despite the fact that just the one touch in quarter two. Hartigan.
Cole Hartigan would have been thinking,
he was close.
Is this long enough?
Lloyd.
Good lock in here by the Saints. The Swannies, though.
Seedsman back to the wing. Lynch having a hard time against it with Rampy, and it's over and out.
Good game of footy here. It is hard to pick what's going to happen next at the moment. Contested possessions, clearances, they're all very similar. The only area that Sydney are dominating in is inside 50s.
Tippett took front position.
Got a little bit more easier ball as well. There are 11 marks this quarter to 5, so they're just holding on to it just with a tiny bit more ease, which gives them a little bit more, I suppose, time to decide their next move.
I reckon at quarter time they must have got an instruction to play a bit more possession footy. Remember I said before they could have went to Buddy, they didn't, they waited for a kick that could hit the target, so they might be chipping it a little bit more around.
He's not drunk.
I think the Crows' biggest problem right now is finding a matchup for Isaac Heaney. He's the one doing all the damage out there with his 9 disposals.
Yeah.
Crouch looking for someone on the outside. Atkins was just the face he needed to find. Miller again showing his great instincts for the game. Lynch got it somehow to McKay, and they're inside 50 and not so well. Walker comes late, didn't mark. Grundy, 2 Crows to beat. Jenkins, Douglas on the left. Too much angle back.
That is the danger area for blokes like Grundy when it hits the deck. I mean, that's not what he's designed for, but when it does hit the deck, similar sized players are just a little bit better at picking it up off the floor.
They made sure that was 15, Sydney.
Yes. McVeigh had a quiet return so far.
Jacobs here looking for the long kick.
Jacobs had to run forward and he ended up puts the big fist into it. Mills a couple of metres, comes again a second time. Parker, Miller kept on going. McKay, beautifully read by Rampy. Suddenly charging forward, Franklin just kicks it into the middle to Lloyd. Tippett one-on-one with Hartigan. Does he go for him? He tried to draw him up to the footy, but Hartigan was ready for it. And comes well. Tippett stays in it. Gets the handball out to Lloyd, a second chance. Tossed it high back towards Robinson. Just slightly overbalanced. And what's Eddie Betts doing in the defensive goal square? Lends a hand, much needed assistance. And he finds Atkins on the way out. And packages it up for Walker Douglas, and they keep on charging forward.
Take him on, son.
Here goes Brodie Smith. Off the outside of the boot.
Well read.
Jenkins caught one from Grundy. McVeigh knew what was coming, braced himself for the tackle. Here's Eddie Betts, still coming through, but the rush kick to the advantage only of Rampy. Challenging one for Jack, knocking the other way. Brown, Walker did well, stayed in the tackle long enough. Sloan, he's gone for home, and it's not going to quite make it. Lynch against 2 spots, went to ground, high contact.
Surely
not seen. Crowd saw it up, didn't. Kick down the line for Nankervis.
It's whether the umpire thinks it was his deliberate going to ground. You're entitled to pick up the ball and be protected, but whether he thought he deliberately went to ground to draw that contact.
Well,
we'll get another.
Have a look shortly.
Sloan, good cutting kick inboard. Create some options for Crouch. Most of the Crows forwards stationary, except Taylor Walker.
Too far out for Big Tex.
He's found a little bit of the footy in the last 3 minutes, Tex.
Only just too far. There's a bit of wind behind him. He must have thought he was a chance.
That's not good.
Eddie keeps it alive. They can put a tackle on. No, they can't. And Curvis gets it off safely to Cunningham. And back to the wing. Lever, Hanbury. He's friendless there, and you can't pull that.
Let's have a look at the Tom Lynch one. He's got his eyes on the ball. He's going in hard. And that is a free kick every day of the week.
Yep, go with that.
That is
he was going for the ball.
Too late, she's all over now, but that was one that got away.
Jenkins grabs it inside for Walker. What a pick-up Douglas needs to score from that. And he scored only the one.
That's that one there. Tex Walker was against Reg Grundy there. And on the deck, he's going to turn Reg around and just make some real problems. Is that 15? It's not marked anyway.
I think we need to put a little dot on the ground where 15 metres is from full back, because there's a fair bit of confusion even at ground level here from the players. The umpire's going to call play on or not.
We've got the 50-metre arc. Do you reckon we just needed a faint 15-metre arc from the edge of the goal square?
Just a couple of dots in the pockets.
Oh, he's missed that.
Did he get a fist to it? Closing in here. Lynch back to the square. Smith had to protect the bounce of the ball. Could have gone anywhere.
1-5 in the second quarter for Adelaide here, up against Sydney's 1-2.
And they've had more inside 50s. They've been able to lock it in for a little while here, in the period.
Tackling good. 13 tackles.
Scrappy kick. Mitchell did what he could, but Sloan's able to win it back cleanly. Siegeman went chipping, and Laidler anticipated well.
Kicking at 52% in this second quarter. Adelaide just not hitting their targets, either with goal or inside 50 at the moment.
Well, this is what Sydney do. They take the punishment, they can absorb it, and they stand up to it. And there's repeat 50 entries here against them. They've always been great at taking that punishment, and then they'll sneak out the other end and bang, they'll go down the other side of the field.
King of the clearance is a 6-2 in favour of Adelaide. So after that 9-1 start, Adelaide have really been on top.
Yeah, I think they've won 15 of the next 17, so they're really in tight and tough, and they need some reward, as you said, on the scoreboard, because you know the Swans will get their arm wrestle back on and try and hold sway where they're strong as a club.
Just a goal each in this second quarter. Scores level. Kieran Jack, Sloan, hits back hard the other way, and Lynch sees it out.
He looks all right.
Who's that, Jack? Yeah, well, just have a look at a couple of the Sydney players. Jack's had one, McGlynn's had one, Mitchell's had one, Parker's had two. This is just for the second quarter. So a lot of their midfielders are really down. Kennedy's only had one, if I didn't say him as well. So Sydney mid's not getting their hands on the ball.
Mitchell does that time. Laidler, a bit of a wayward handball. Sloan knew it was coming. Laidler venting his frustration. Brilliant collect by Jack. And there's some of their brilliant midfielders in action. It was a funny old handball by Kieran Jack, it has to be said. Goes back to Laird, screws it to half-full, Crows everywhere. Lynch gives to Sloan instantly. Douglas is inside for him, so is Jenkins, went for Douglas.
And Eddie Betts has got the extra here.
Douglas has missed the last two shots on goal, and when you're in that headspace, you have so much going through your brain right now. He's taking the deep breaths.
They had one extra compared to the backman. If he had swung and
couldn't get it there though, too risky. He needed to go back and do what he's doing now. Just steady, go back and kick the goal, which an experienced player would like to think he's a very good chance.
Kicked 3 goals last week, Richard Douglas, so...
That's from this spot on the ground. He's hit that 9 out of 12 times he's kicked a goal from there. And the other 3 he's missed have been to that side.
Yeah, that's in his head now. That's the challenge of any AFL footballer, to wrestle with those demons in your head.
Jamil's driving kick. Back to that half-forward line for the Crows, which is where the footies live for the last 10 or so minutes.
1-5 and 1 on the full now, so they are not making the most of their opportunities here, Adelaide.
But they're standing up to it. I mean, they're not soda shots that have just been terrible, terrible kicking. They've been from angles, they've been from outside, downtown.
Oh, well trapped by Lynch. He too, though, doesn't have the radar on.
1-6 from 12 entries.
Enough to give them the lead.
They're efficient going in. Before today, I think they were the most efficient side going in. They got 1 goal for every 3 inside 50s.
Nick Smith heaves it out to half-back. Robertson came late. It's all Adelaide, and Lynch receives a beautiful pass from Brown and can go back and shoot for goal and surely convert.
Something in this, Kingy. Each time they go in short into the forward line, Sydney Swans backmen like to play from behind and pick off the long ball. But if they pierce the ball in low and go short inside 50, Adelaide are on the end of it.
No, it's a fair call. I mean, it takes a lot to unlocking the Sydney Swans back six, which looks like they've done that in the second term.
Lynch from directly in front finally salutes, and Adelaide's lead extends to 7.
Yeah, Roo, I reckon Sydney like the ball being thrown up, and you've got big fellas, Ted and Reg Grundy, and they love spoiling the ball, but watch how it comes back in flat and low. And that's when they're going to get on the end of it. They don't kick to the top of the square. See the Swans players trailed in? They're hoping the long one comes in. They buffet their opponent off the drop of the ball, take up rear position and spoil it.
Goal kicking machine, Tommy Lynch coming off 6, missed last week, back tonight, and he's on fire again.
Got to get hands on it here, the Sydney Swans.
Tippett did, but Jacobs was able to nullify. Now Thompson doing what he's been doing for 250 games for the Adelaide Crows, digging in and getting it out of the middle.
That's good.
Mills, it's not so good. Opportunity created by Atkins, sends it long. He's looming Walker here, too strong, takes the mark.
Oh, he's paid the body work. He did throw him around a bit there, Tex. Whether it was a free or not, we'll have to have another look. But
He ragdolled him, Roo.
Did he?
He ragdolled him.
Oh!
That's a free. That's an unrealistic attempt.
Not paid against Cunningham. Play on the call. And they're back inside again, the Crows. Here's Grundy, favoured by the bounce.
Good
now
give.
Parker and Hanbury back to the middle.
Good ball.
Well, Hardigan went there, but he just
stopped,
gave up.
Yep.
Well, he thought Heaney was going to come meet it, and he was going to drive by for the little give.
Atkins, he shaped that kick magnificently for Betts. Couldn't hang on. The pressure is immense. A handball, and it grows and grows. Mills rushes it onto the boot. Robinson from behind. And
Once
they
again,
get it to the boundary.
Once again, the low piercing ball into the forward line had the Sydney
Let's have a look at Tex here.
behind.
Yep, that's a free kick.
It's a free kick. If your coach is umpiring match practice, he doesn't give a free kick for that. No, I mean between his own two sides.
You can't hold on to a defender and just throw him.
Yeah, you don't know what he's doing. The bloke in front, I'm sticking up for the forward here.
Yeah.
Something new.
Well, do you know where Rampy's hands were? What was he doing? Was he holding Jumper?
Yeah, but he didn't throw him.
Yeah, well, you're allowed to hold him now, eh?
Settle down, boys. Under 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Bloody midfielders.
Another one of those midfielders, Mitchell, and another. Kennedy and Hanbury send it forward. Franklin just holds off Hardigan, gets a metre advantage, and should create a goal for Isaac Heaney. No, hand it back. The give and go. It's through. Swans within a point.
That's what he can do.
Well, what he just did was he pushed him under the ball. It was good use of the body, but he knew if he got his opponent under the ball, he'd be able to run back. Let's have a look at how he used his body.
Pure athleticism.
Just here, leans on Hardigan, gets him under, then he knows he's just too fast for him. Did well, good take, good give, follows it up. Good footy. Hardigan's been okay on him tonight so far. He's done a pretty good job. But Buddy in space is just about unstoppable.
Yeah. What an athlete.
Talia back on him now. It's back to a 1-point ball game. Just under 3.5 minutes remaining in the second term. Hanbury comes off the wing.
Just starting to get back into the ball. Play.
Fumble from Kennedy. You don't expect that, but he comes back.
Well, that was holding the ball,
I would have thought so. Thompson, maybe he didn't actually stop him enough.
Yeah, but he did about a 540 spin.
He did get a good look, didn't he?
How's your maths going?
1.5.
Richard back to the wing. And Laird takes the mark.
And he did slide out the other end, didn't he?
Yep. So didn't fully retard him in the end.
Matt Crouch, possession number 10 coming out.
It's been fast and furious. We've got about an 8-second break on play here. He's not accustomed to it.
Sloan from behind. Did he interfere? Here's Betts charging through. Jenkins and Grundy. Gets to the front. There's Grundy and takes it out without giving away the free.
Every time the ball goes out now, there's some degree of...
You hear the murmur, don't you?
There's a couple of deliberates, or there's a couple of thousand deliberates. Or...
He played that well, Big Reg.
Just 1 point. Adelaide attacking again. Sloan. Crouch. Thompson. Tough one to mark. Layla batted it away. Richards was spinning and hoping more than anything. McVeigh just getting accustomed to the heat of AFL footy.
This is real heat.
It is. Lynch the next to feel it. Grundy tried to wade through. Not enough on the kick. All hands on deck. Buddy's back there. Goes against Walker. Got enough on it. Tippett. Cue the boos. Hanbury. Back to the middle of the ground. Seedsman played in big games for Collingwood. But
oh, look out.
Oh, watch out for Brown. It's clear. Towers through to McLean, but a fumble. Tries to recover. Went for territory, tapping it forward. Hardigan, watch out.
Did it well again. Came off his man to intercept that ball.
Talia wasn't clean with the hands. McLean knows how to duck and weave. Couldn't get the free. Play on the call, so they do. Hanbury ponders, kicks into the pocket. They're outnumbered here, the Swans. And Lever puts a mighty fist on it, sends it over the boundary line. The crowd into a frenzy.
There's only a minute and a half to go, but they'll be looking forward to half-time. This has been a great game of footy.
How much did Tex want Buddy then? He just wanted the other big kingpin on the ground, chased him at centre halfback.
Jacobs got the tap down. Kennedy just imposing himself. McVeigh, not the first touch, but the second is deep enough. Not a goal. Free kick.
This is the toughest game that you will see for some time. Now we're only a month of football in, but this is a snippet of what we can expect for the next 20-odd weeks. It's absolutely first class.
Come in with a hype, didn't it? And they've delivered the players.
You could, Kingy, you could transplant this game right now into September and you'd say, yeah, that's about right.
Wouldn't be disappointed. I'll tell you what, Sydney would be disappointed to be travelling if you're going to go to September already.
It's furious.
Crows by 1. Under a minute for Sydney to take the lead before half-time. Mitchell gets the run around from Thompson. Parker. Crouch was onto him. Cunningham the next to go. Lynch for the Crows. Back for young Brown. And he gets the handball again. Thompson didn't look quick, but I guess he never has been. He was able to just do enough. Back to the wing. Seedsman's got some pace up. Had to put the tackle on Lloyd, which he did because he had to. Crouch again. McKay charging forward. Not precise with the kick, but it's close enough.
35 seconds, Hutto.
Jenkins gets the handball into Lynch. Can he hit the target? Smack bang on the chest of Walker.
Short again. Pierce the ball inside 50. You see Sydney are getting their goals running towards goal out the back. The Crows are getting their shots at goal by meeting the ball carrier and the ball's been pierced in low at them.
And that's been opposite to what they have in the first 3 rounds, Derm. There was a minute and a half, there was a boundary throw in the Sydney, right in their forward pocket. And the movement of the football in today, that was down the other end 20 seconds later.
What I'm loving about this game, every tackle literally has game-high importance on it, every motion.
Looking for his second goal. And the numbers were good from the past history from that point, but it turns out that it's a behind, and so Adelaide will take a slender 2-point advantage into the second half here at the Adelaide Oval.
2-7 for the quarter there, Adelaide, and 1 out in the full, so not maximising the inside 50 dominance of 18-11.
Not the high-scoring contest we've seen through so many of the matches so far this year, but certainly living up to all expectations, Ed. It's Adelaide by 2 points.
Good on you, Hutto. Fantastic stuff there. Don't worry about the high scoring. That is a high-quality game of football. High pressure, 2 really good, well-drilled teams playing fantastic footy tonight. So Adelaide going with their noses in front by 2 points. Sydney led by 3 points at quarter time. So we're in for a belter at Adelaide Oval. As you can see earlier today, some ripping games. Hawthorn just hanging on against St Kilda. The Saints hit the front with the win behind them. A bit of controversy in that game as well, with some free kicks going against the Saints. But the Hawks prevailed to make it 16 on the trot down there at Aurora Stadium in Tasmania. Essendon were there till 3/4 time before the Cats got up by 5 goals. Brisbane Lions in a huge game, and there's going to be a lot of fallout from that match as well. Got up to have their first win of the season. Gold Coast first loss of the season by 13 points. As you can see, Carlton are getting beaten easily by the Western Bulldogs at the moment. At half-time, they're 43 points down, and we've just seen the first half of the game. Adelaide 2 points in front of Sydney. Earlier tonight, as I mentioned, what a win it was in amazing circumstances for the Brisbane Lions. 2 of their players off the ground. Stephen Martin was cleaned up in a controversial incident, which we'll show in a few moments' time. But as we go to the break, let's have a listen to the Brisbane Lions sing their song for the first time in 2016. Welcome back. At the other game, it is still the Bulldogs by 43 points over Carlton. But in the big one tonight at Football Park, it's the Adelaide Crows leading Sydney by 2 points. Let's get back to Adelaide Oval now, where Dermot Brereton and Mark Rochetta on hand. Boys, this is a great game. Lots of pressure, plenty of skill. Finals-type atmosphere in round 4. It's great stuff.
It certainly is, Ed. If we go for the gradings, this is AAA rating, these two teams at the moment, what they're putting out there, Roo. So really high quality. The pressure is through the roof.
Is it ever? And some really good stuff in tight as well. And you just feel that a forward's going to win the game, though, because there's plenty of inside 50s for both sides, but no one's jumped out and grabbed hold of it yet. But I think it will in the second half.
Hanbury has the most possessions on the ground, but the bloke who's been the most effective, the number 1 ranking player on the ground so far, is Rory Sloane. 8 contested possessions, 6 tackles, 3 clearances, 13 possessions all up.
Yeah, when you talk about finals, when you talk about tough in and under games, that suits Rory Sloane. That's his bread and butter. Not frightened to put his head over the ball. Got his cheekbone broken twice last year because he does it all the time, but he's been good in tight. But there's a number of players who've been pretty similar, but Rory Sloane certainly having his best game for the year so far.
There's so many influences on this game. A lot of them is just winning the pill, but also there's a lot of tactics as well. So let's talk about them now with David King down on the ground surface. Kingy.
Down in the Adelaide rooms at the moment. I've snuck in here to get out of the cold, but I just want to touch on a point you raised through the course of the game. They had their inside 50 opportunities, the Adelaide Crows, and they were going in lower and shorter and taking those marks that you talked about, the low ball, nothing high, nothing that hangs in the air to give the Sydney Swans defence a chance to intercept or spoil. All 6 marks you can see around that 30 to 40 metre zone from goal, the low darted entries as the boys are milling around me here, just getting ready to go. Just get pretty serious down here, Derm. I might have to get out of the way.
Thank you very much, Kingy. We'll let you get back out onto the ground. It is the Crows here. 5-8 plays 5-6. The Crows by 2 points.
Great night for football in Adelaide, and the crowd have had just a little break at half-time, whetting the appetite for what's ahead in the second half. 5-8-38 Adelaide, Sydney 5-6-36, low-scoring encounter, and it's been a game where we've seen a taste of this young man, Isaac Heaney, Derm and Roo. 10 disposals. He's been really their main go-to man, apart from Buddy Franklin up forward.
Yeah, he looks really dangerous. Super in the air too, and on the ground. He's very fast, he's agile, and reminds me of Paul Kelly, the Brownlow medalist, who was just a real hard man to stand. He could run, he could jump, he could spin around and kick goals. He is just, and he's tough as well. So he's the complete package, and he's going to really blossom into an absolute superstar.
Very good balance. The thing I like, look at Franklin. He gets his going in the direction of his team's goal. The way he's playing tonight, because Lance's hands aren't fantastic at the moment. So if you've got your main key forward running away from the incoming football, trying to create havoc, which he does, you have to have at least one other player coming at the ball carrier. That's Heaney. You'd think that he's about the third string in this forward line, but he's probably the most important player up there because he leads up at the footy and draws the ball towards him. He's 184, but he's playing like he's 190. He's beautiful set of hands, and you notice when he does mark above his head, he lands on 2 feet. He's beautifully balanced as well.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets on top in the middle in this third quarter. Adelaide really fought back after Sydney did the job on them early in the first quarter. There's big Kurt Tippett up against Sauce Jacobs, and they'll have a big say as well.
Third quarter then from the Adelaide Oval. The home team in front by 2 points. As we get underway, Tippett and Jacobs facing off again. Parker, Hanbury, 20 disposals in the first half. And great tackling.
Looked like he got rid of that, Kennedy, but umpires are pretty hot tonight on all threes.
Great tackle, turned him on the fall forward.
Jenkins has to come up at the ball, doesn't quite make it. Richards was able to work back off Walker.
He was the only one who went for it.
Kingy, did that ball drop really steep at the end there? Are they into a bit of breeze?
Yeah, they might be, Derm. It's really swirly down here. It's difficult for the players to adjust and for them to read. It looks like it's dropping it at both goal squares, but yeah, no, difficult conditions.
Brown into the pocket. Jenkins comes up at the footy this time with the chest protruding and takes the mark.
Well, that looked like it dropped as well. The flags are blowing to the left of screen, sort of a southeasterly here in Adelaide.
Well, that'll make this kick really tough.
Yeah, just about impossible. He's going to have to really ping it right at the right post with a bit of punch. Otherwise, it's going to drift across the face of goal.
2 behinds tonight for Josh Jenkins. As we said, 10 goals, 3 for the season. Coming in,
that's not bad.
A beautiful effort. It's just going to swing across a bit. Still, Pell remains, and Smith on guard.
It's so dangerous when the ball's on the deck.
It's just that anxious, isn't it, moment for the defence.
They've made
the anxiety of it all.
They made the rule with the deliberate out of bounds. When will they make it for the deliberate point?
Well, it used to be there, but it's been a little bit lessened or weakened, the adjudication.
Jack hacks it out of there to a one-on-one. Franklin in front. Battaglia was able to ride it out. Didn't take the mark, though. Cheney feeling Buddy's frustrations. Put the tackle on pretty well. Laird back for Talia. Incorrect disposal. Buddy's ball. Sets it up. Sets it flying in towards full
over the back.
Oh, Heaney's out the back. Bang. Sydney back in front.
Well, you could see that coming from a mile away, and Heaney thought he'd take a punt and stay down at the back. And why wouldn't you if you're the only man there? Because that's the free kick they paid for a throw.
Just never really controlled
Never controlled it.
Yeah.
Why did Buddy get the free? It wasn't his kick.
And Heaney over the back there into an open goal.
Had to put the fist through the belly of that ball and keep it in view, not let it get out the back.
Called him as a dominant player at half-time, Derm, and he started beautifully in the third quarter.
First goal for Isaac Heaney. Franklin with 2, McGlynn also with 2. Likewise, Lynch and Betts have a couple each for the Crows, who are storming forward. Sloan sends them on their way. Here's Jenkins out to meet it. Cruel bounce for Richards. Betts bobs up. Atkins just sorting through the menu of choices. Settles on Seedsman to full forward. Grundy, it's going to bounce through!
That was McGovern on the left boot.
Therein lies what Reg Grundy does, and he is a scrapper, and he's a really good body player, but he's so preoccupied with his opponent's body. Watch him on the bottom of the screen here. He doesn't care about the ball. He's looking at, he's just making sure his opponent can't get it. The all-time great backman, once the ball leaves the foot, it can't change course. The all-time great backmen go to the drop of the ball.
What a promising player he is too.
Got a bit of X factor about him, Hutto.
He's got the McGovern eyebrows, hasn't he? All the McGoverns have got that high raised on the outside.
How many McGoverns do you know, Derm? Is there
the old man and the brother.
Storming forward, Franklin from behind.
Three's enough.
Made the contest of it. Laird, watch out. Did no favours for Smith.
He dropped. He was lucky there, Smith.
Sloan providing the assistance. Big fella, Jacobs back to Smith, and they're back out to the wing, slugging it out. It was Rampy and Douglas, and Richards joins in to Hanbury and short for Jack. Meticulous over the top it was for Kennedy. Franklin came, but he went shorter than that. Papley hasn't been a big factor yet. Mitchell deep with a kick. Heaney!
It required wonderful vision from the kicker because he had to look back over his closed shoulder, and he was able to pull that kick across his body and put it to Heaney's advantage. Wonderful kick.
He's a live wire, isn't he? Very, very dangerous player. Called it early, Kingy, that the problem for the Crows' defence was who can match up with Heaney. They've tried a couple. They've got Kyle Chaney on him now. Rory Laird's been there.
Second goal of the third quarter for Isaac Heaney, and the Swans are back in front.
Problem is, Roo, every time he touches it, the Swans score.
Yeah.
He had 5 score involvements at half-time, and he's got another couple of goals early on this third term. So anytime the ball's in his area, you've just got to stay with him. You can see you give him space here. Cheney takes front position, but just loses the grip on where he actually is.
Yep. Well, the players that can play forward and back and all the different angles are much harder to stand.
Just didn't get the rollover coverage then on Tom Mitchell as he gathered the ball at half forward. His man rolled to the outside to cover Tippett.
Holding Scott Thompson, Adelaide.
Free kick going to Thompson. Lynch comes up to the ball, not seen.
Texas got a bit of movement.
Walker is the best choice, and he marks in front of Richards. Resisted the temptation to handle to Sloan. They appeal for 50. Nothing doing. Jenkins deep in the goal spread. Makes his lead now. Ignored for the moment by Walker. Eddie Betts buzzing around in the pocket. Comes to the footy on the bounce. Can they hold him at bay? Touches it to ground. Couldn't get enough on the screw kick. And it's only a minor.
Yeah, don't know if that was the best option.
Fairly low percentage. With Eddie, you never know.
It's a real tactic, that kick in from Sydney.
Yeah.
They go to that sort of 15 to 20 metre mark. Or 14 to 20 metre mark.
Oh, Lloyd. It was like a golfer just stopping the backswing.
Oh, in that spot, obviously a different ground. The last time I saw that, he'll hate me saying this, was in a... Reece Shaw did it in a grand final. I think Lynchy caught him, didn't he? Went to kick it, lost his thought where it was going, wanted to keep it, dropped it and got tackled.
It's going to snap this term.
Jenkins up, and across.
Gee, it's a tough kick to snap a ball from 35 metres out. You have to really middle it. There's the fumble, and there's the holding the ball.
McVeigh gives the kick in plenty. Hardigan trying to stop Nankervis, couldn't defy him at all. Mitchell running past into the right place. Suddenly the ball in the middle of the Adelaide Oval. Bypasses Heaney this time. Parker hurled it back. Genie able to respond for the Crows. They're backing back. Can they work forward? Atkins, ambitious handball for Jacobs. The fend was okay. Suddenly they're getting adventurous through the middle. Oh, they have to give up some ground then. Atkins, Crouch, good shrug of the shoulders. Jacobs, they're handling the ball a lot. They're not going forward, but
They will now.
They don't crack. That's the most important thing. And now they can push forward. A little fumble from Smith, but all okay. Jenkins holds his lead. In fact, the kick goes to him. Betts! And Jenkins goes back at it again. Smith, the pressure builds. The options grow. Douglas snaps truly. Crows back in front. Goal for goal. And the frenzied Adelaide fans are on their feet again.
Ground ball, it's tough to cover when you've got Betts leading the charge.
Look at Eddie there. He just went under it. He had to stretch for it.
But look at him hunted up, Roo.
Yeah, his second, third efforts are brilliant. Richie Douglas has been peppering the goals tonight. And that, on that occasion, for him, great stuff. He kicked it through, missed a few earlier. This is a ripping game.
Have a look at our pressure gauge there. Kingy, you talk us through that for the layman. 187, Adelaide 189 on the pressure gauge for Sydney.
Both strong. 180 is the benchmark from last season. As soon as that gap gets to 10, either way, you're an 80% chance of winning the game. So only 2 at the moment. Shows how both sides are applying themselves.
Jacobs hacks it out of there. Lynch, a slight double grab.
There's a few slipping tonight. There's a bit of dew on the ground.
Rampy willed himself onto the footy. Lyons tries to win it back. Can't, at least not yet. Rampy over the top of it. Umpire says keep on going. McVeigh charging Cunningham just when he thought he was away. Lost his footing.
There's a few slipping down there tonight. No cloud cover here at Adelaide Oval. Beautiful night. So a bit of dew.
Here's the latest victim, Tommy Lynch. Makes do. Here's Douglas. Stands just outside the 50.
Great tackle.
And went straight to ground. Rampy again. The handiwork was outstanding off halfback for the Swans. Robinson leads the race. Brown will come at him. Kept him in check superbly. Lloyd on the outside. McGovern goes at him. Got the handball away and gets it over the boundary line and out of bounds. And again, the Crows fans.
Every contest as if the game is riding on the outcome.
And yet we're still 13 minutes plus in the third term.
Just shows it doesn't have to be a high-scoring game, though, to be a great game, does it? 53-48, halfway through the third.
Hanbury and Kennedy, Lloyd, and suddenly they're inside again. Franklin just got enough room, but good backup from Hardigan. Talia, and the squeeze was on. Heaney looking for his third, slides in, keeps it alive, score, no! Taken over by Weaver.
Gee, that was close. Well done, Heaney.
How good, how brave has Hardigan been?
Yeah.
Just his
leave his man and come and help.
To come
Buddy.
off his man, yeah. He's been fantastic.
Lobs the kick for Jacobs. 2 Swans. One of them was Tippett. Mitchell now. The extra numbers. And can they profit from it? Smith crafts a kick across the body. Oh, Nankerv is so vigorous. Crows defence. Standing firm again. Steadfast stuff. Lyons bangs it out. Trainer's got to get out of the road.
Got to run past him here. They got the extra number.
Lynch, clean kick for McGovern. Got it with authority. Takes it. Had options through the middle. Ignores Thompson. Plays it a little conservatively now. He's hesitating. He was melting for a moment, but he's kicked it well off the left boot for Thompson.
Sauce Jacobs is
Here comes Walker. Got it!
Big Sauce is coming off Hutto, and he doesn't look good.
No, he's coming from the ground. Looks like some sort of right leg. He's just limping his way to the bench now. Might be an ankle, boys. He's just doubled over at the moment. Come back to you shortly.
Oh, Taylor Walker. Just soaking this all up.
Remember, he kicking into a little wind here. Hutto has been holding back a little bit, but he will give it a big punch.
Yeah, normally he'd kick it 15 rows over. He'll probably only get it 6 now.
Probably the 3 would here.
The Crows lead by 4. And now it's 10. The skipper lands a big blow.
What a weaponry.
Yeah, when you can pull that out and go bang. He did it last week from well inside the centre square at Etihad. Great kick. That's why they kick it to him too, anywhere around there, because they know that he gets the job done. He's probably a better kick from 45 to 55 out than he is from 25, because he kicks through the ball so well.
Six entries this quarter, boys, for Adelaide for 6 scores.
Another low punch dart to the key forwards as well.
Challenge is now they're checking out the right knee of Sam Jacobs, so the clearance has become a huge factor now with the second rucks going head to head.
Yeah, so Jenkins in the ruck for the Adelaide Crows, scrambling after it. McLean, no way out.
Josh Jenkins will have to do a lot of the work now. Kingy, you're spot on with that. That could give an opportunity for Sydney's ruckman to get on top and give the midfielders first use of the ball. Let's keep an eye on that.
Jared Lyons, was he? Yes, Pryor, he's gone. just had enough.
So the clearance is a 5-2 before the Jacobs injury in this third quarter.
Big Nankervis heaves it deep. Heaney's on the march. He flies slightly, misjudged that one. It was tough. Laird at the back, stretches the handball, Hardigan. And now from the stand start, Smith gets it out of there, back to the wing. Douglas, McVeigh with the flight, Mills.
Great catch.
Superb. Shown his aerial ability already in just his handful of AFL games. Callum Mills driving Sydney deep. They'd love a big grab. Franklin's got to challenge three of them at ground level. The height that time. Towers got it out, but responding well, the Crows. Douglas has kicked it out to the wing. Boundary will do. And it gets there via Grundy. And they still appeal for deliberate.
Big Reg.
Let's have a look at that. Good mark.
He's been brave in the air, the boy, hasn't he?
Very good mark.
Yeah. Really well done by Callum Mills.
Back into play again. Sloan. Restrained by a couple. McKay and Mills. And Mills wins the day. Smith needed help. Parker didn't have a friend inside and just rushed the ball to the boot. You can see the result.
Heat. Real heat around the footy.
Jenkins is rushing forward with Cunningham as an opponent. One-on-one at the top of the square if they want to go.
Yeah, what a mismatch in height.
He's got it.
He hasn't. Nankervis came late and made an impact. Smith was ready to escape but just forgot the Sharon. Grundy did what he could, manufactured something. There's 3 Crows and 1 Swan. And Lloyd.
So well done by Nankervis because he identified what you were talking about, Roo. He punched it into Jenkins, who had the size advantage, but Nankervis arrived. The cavalry got there and spoiled.
Adelaide by 10. Saturday night footy from the Adelaide Oval. They're attacking again the home side, hungry for more. Quick kick, Lloyd. Laird, though, well positioned, takes the mark. And ready to reload. Oh, he was.
That's going to work.
Smith towards full forward. Challenging one for Walker. Didn't fly for it. Kept on his feet. Miller likewise. Ramp, you can see the behinds and scrambles on all fours and gets it through for a behind. And it's now 11 points.
That's the inconsistency, Roo. If that goes 1 metre to the right over the boundary, it's definitely a free. Goes through the points. After 2008, that was a free, but then it's been relaxed, that rule.
I think that you'll probably see it tightened up over the next couple of years.
Laidler kicks to half back. Hardigan flies, no mark, as you can see. McVeigh, they're out the Swans. The kick, a challenging one. Franklin,
good luck.
Lever, go chase, Lever. Try and chase Franklin. Try and stop this man. You can't. Timely goal for Buddy Franklin.
Somewhere in Australia, there's a bloke by the name of Cale Hooker looking at that and thinking, I know exactly what your pain's feeling like.
That was amazing that night at the MCG. This is the work that sets up the goal. The in-tight work by Parker to get it out. That's the reason why Buddy can do what he does here. And Lever tried his hardest. Good little lesson. Buddy kicks straight through it.
Obviously a timely goal for the Swans. Under siege at the Adelaide Oval. It's back to 5 points.
Franklin's got 3.
He's on track for his average.
Another 4
Another
goal
4
game.
and 18.
Jacobs back in the middle.
11 disposals for Buddy so far. Here's Crouch out of the middle. Good pressure though from Hanbury. Stymied the kick somewhat. Lyons had to concede a lot of ground to win the possession, but he's done that and done it well. Thompson to reap the rewards, driving it wide for McGovern. Got there, left Richards in his wake. Mitch McGovern takes it on and kicks the goal. Well done, young man. He's kicked his second in the corner.
Now Ted isn't super quick, but this boy McGovern ran past him then.
He is quick. He's very quick. Yeah, he's quick.
Watch this. He starts behind, gets to it before him.
It's the recovery that's the difference. Look at that. Oh. And a good finish. Some pretty good footy getting played out here tonight by both sides. Buddy at one end with Heaney. You got McGovern, Tex.
Low scoring first half, but it's broken open in this third term. It's back to an 11-point margin. Game high for the Adelaide Crows. 4 goals to 3 in this third term. Jacobs, they want more.
Taking control in there.
Crouch out of the middle. Probing ball it was. The fist on McGavin that time by Richards. Effective only to a certain degree because Lynch is sending them inside again. They're coming again. Jenkins, well done, Grundy. Spinning through the pack.
Oh, it's too high.
Did well, Big Reg, didn't he? One of the few times he decided to charge the ball, take it on.
Nick Smith with the ball. They want a breather. This has been flat out since half-time, hasn't it?
Good stuff. Look at the Crows out there in numbers. No mark. Papley tries to apply the pressure, but they're just staying ahead of the game. Lynch, he knows the boundary line's there, and so was Robinson, so he's happy enough to get it over and out. Just under 8 minutes remaining in quarter 3. 8 scores from 11 entries this quarter of the Adelaide Crows. 4 goals, 4 it's produced. Nankervis gets the tap down. Seedsman stripped of it immediately.
Just looking at the Swans forward line, we know that they're getting a return out of Franklin and Heaney every time it's in their area. You feel like they need a third option to bob up just for 10-15 minutes and contribute to the scoreboard, whether it's Papley or one of the midfielders pushing forward, lads.
Well, he's got it there and gets it off quickly to Kennedy, and it's deep for Franklin again. His 4th goal coming up.
You got to play on here?
No, he shares the love, and Kurt Tippett will get booed as he puts through another.
Just a little bit proppy there, buddy. But I'll tell you what, he has been magnificent. We said a forward might break this game open well.
Watch Hartigan come off his man once he sees the ball float. He's been brave trying to do that. Got there 1/10 of a second too late. That's his man that kicks the goal.
Buddy's been good. Starting to clunk a couple, Bud.
Only now the booing just dying down a little bit.
Well, Kingy said another forward might have to go down and have an impact. Kurt went down, got the goal, but it was Buddy that did the hard work.
Well, you might get it through Parker. That'll come back. Parker's wandered down there now. Heaney's pushed up. He'll play a little bit higher now.
4 goals each for the quarter. 4-4 to 4-1. The wrestle in the middle. Jacobs is back on duty. They sorted out the Crows. Thompson just had the handball and hope. Towers came hard off the wing. Had an impact.
That's willing.
Allows Kennedy to manufacture a kick of some sort. Heaney, free kick. And that's from what he's done earlier.
Yep, that's the pressure you feel. Hardigan up against Heaney there. Just a bit of body in the air. He's probably going to go under it anyway. Just take a good kick. Got the wind at his back here too. Everyone, the wind is blowing to the Sydney Swans end, so if he just puts a bit of flight on the ball and steers it straight, it should be able to get the distance.
He's kicked 2 goals in this quarter, Isaac Heaney. And to give the Swans the lead back from outside the arc, maybe just searching for that extra distance. The blemish in the kicking action results in out of the full. Daniel Talia in that last line for the Crows. Jacobs, Rampy had the last say.
Just trying to find a place where this game will be won. It's pretty hard to work out who's going to win the game. I mean, Buddy looks fantastic for them. Heaney looks good, but she's pretty tight.
Both Ruckman appealing for the free.
There's no real problem area for either side other than perhaps Sydney with Buddy's brilliance and Heaney's.
6 minutes to go.
Everything.
I reckon both teams are seriously fatigued now. It looks like they're trying to conserve a bit of energy, both teams. The game could be won or lost in this 6 minutes.
Sloan takes the mark, commanding stuff from one of their leaders, gives Jenkins the opportunity to do the same, and he has, and thumps it through with great glee and delight at the Adelaide Oval.
Well, you called it, Derm. Grundy looked like a tired man there, just in a one-on-one with Jenkins, who for a huge man moves very, very well. And that's quite often why he runs into open goals, because he's a bit faster and a bit more agile. Got the bump there. Look at the sluggish move by Grundy. Good body work there by Jenkins. Good kick by Sloan. And a late goal, very handy for Adelaide.
Best part of 6 minutes left in this quarter, and this 5 and a fair bit could have a major say in the outcome of this match. Both teams are really fatigued right now, and it's been really willing.
Douglas underneath all of that. It came to Papley, and he's finding out what the heat of top-line football is tonight. Young Tom Papley, a terrific future, but the Crows have got the present, and they're streaming forward again. Jenkins in the sides. Didn't mark it cleanly. Let one go there. Sloan just outside the 50. Smith again towards full forward. Can Seedsman get there to compete? He could. He didn't mark it, but he's golden around the corner. Paul Seedsman, if you don't mind.
What I was saying, fatigue, Roo. That's a winger who got to the goal square in a one-on-one. They just can't get the numbers back. They look really tired here. Ted tries his best, but it goes to a legitimate one-on-one. And probably in his third, maybe fourth year, young Lloyd, but only a slight-ish fellow, legitimate winger.
Goal 4 from 13 inside 50s. When they get it in there, Adelaide, they're pretty efficient. They get it through for a score quite often. That's an abnormally high percentage. 10 scores from 13 inside 50s.
Tippett went at it twice, but again, there's Adelaide jumpers everywhere. Laird, they're finally out. Cheney. Along the wing, the Crows go. Seedsman was happy to receive that over the top from Lyons. Suddenly there at half forward. McGovern on the bounce, Eddie, not quite. Smith holds him at bay, held the jumper momentarily, screws the kick back to half back, close to the line.
Great kick to get it there,
wasn't it? And Richards takes the mark.
Had to use the handball then on the inside. The Crows, they elected to go by foot in. That's a good take.
Buddy.
It's got better as the game's gone on. Buddy, he's great value anyway because he's so dangerous because of his athleticism.
Starting to mark him though.
Yeah.
Sends it high. And Curvis is there and he got a admit to it. Tippett to come the other way. Oh, Douglas, he's kicked that through from about 10 metres out.
Darren McVeigh's appealing for deliberate.
Oh, instant kick in.
Saying he wasn't under pressure.
Jacobs just handballed over his head to the voice, and it could come unstuck in a major way. Jack was able to dig it out. Oh, I think the handball was intended for Tippett. Hurried kick from Douglas again. Oh, Parker was that for an age. He's given away the free, and the Crows adventurous again through the middle.
This boy will go all the way on the outside, Hutto.
Didn't get the bounce. He can still look out, and then he sights Jenkins. He bombs it longer. Maybe a little over-exuberant.
That handball hits the target. You know he's praying. That's the first time this half he's had a bit of running space ahead of him, and the target handball just goes astray.
Rampy back to the wing. Heaney's going to leap. He didn't mark it, but he tried to tap it to his own advantage or his teammates.
Legs.
Yep, free kick going to Lloyd.
You can boo all you want. That rule's right.
McVeigh's in the middle, boys.
Gee, it's an aggressive kick, and he's executed it okay. He's got Kennedy short. Took a long time to see him. Now he does.
Smart kick.
And quick, instant handball to Cunningham, and they've broken them open. And it's Tippett again. He was thinking of returning the favour to Buddy, but thought better of it.
Well, Hutto, you called it. It was a brave kick to the centre, but that opened it up.
Yeah.
And then McVeigh was another smart kick to the centre again. Now that is just brilliant footy by Sydney. Experienced heads, taking brave opportunities through the middle, opened up the ground and gave Sydney a chance to get another goal just before three-quarters.
Can't miss from there according to the numbers.
The odds are good.
Oh, it's only just got there, but it's through. Soaked it all up, Kurt Tippett, and has kicked the goal. Keeps them within 10 points.
Once again, the fatigue factor, not being able to get back. That ball's coming in for a while. It's on its tracking course forward, for about 15 seconds or so. And the fatigue factor means, look at the Crows players can't track in behind it.
They just go from back to forward in 10 seconds.
Yeah, what a game.
Couple of late goals for Tippett. doing it in the ruck as well. He's had more head-outs than Jacobs and kicking goals.
Those more of the contested numbers and also the uncontested numbers. Tippett gets the tap down. It's just toe poke forward. Here's Tippett again. Hanbury, Lloyd and Richards eventually decided who would get it and who would receive it. And now Mitchell had to scratch a little kick back to the wing. Kieran Jack comes one way, Hardigan the other. Found the footy. Crouch. Thompson, steadying hand. Brown. Along the line to Smith, he's happy to pause.
This is the best game I've seen the young lad Kyle Hardigan play.
He has had a very good season. Improved a lot. Just a bit of confidence, getting the game.
It's not flying lines. And he rolled the dice there.
Kieran Jack's come off again. Exact same instance as the first quarter where he tried to tackle at full speed.
Took on that man, King.
Yeah, and went the same thing again. He's just in the hands of the Docs now. He's complaining of whiplash, I think.
Smith back to the wing.
Hardigan
rejected it again with a big spoil. Laird, those lightning hands from the Crows. Cheney to half forward. Will Eddie fly? No, it's going to drop short. Rampy fisted it away. Lyons beats Mills to the punch. Scrambles a kick. It could do anything. And it slides across the top of the surface and through for a minor.
Not hard to believe that Jack's calling for whiplash. I mean, his head went into Jenkins in that first quarter.
He's a big unit.
At 100 mile an hour. But what he has done is fought on for 2 quarters to give them the extra leg, so he really has done well.
Rampy back to halfback. Crouch. Open for Tippett, and then Parker, and then Parker again comes through.
Oh, Heaney's free.
And Buddy's on his own in the square as well. He's ready to go for his 4th. Franklin puts it through. And they're back under a goal.
He's put that one out of the ground. This ball is pinging around it. Now that we've got fatigue in there, this is where I love the interchange cap. Fatigue's in the game. Space opens up. We've had really good, willing participation. And suddenly we get some gaps and we start to see some real scoring happening.
12-goal quarter, Derm, 6 each way.
Yep. Kicked the last 2, Sydney. It was out to 17 points. And all of a sudden it's back to where it's been for most of the night, within a kick.
So they've kicked the last 2 to close the gap to 5. Tippett and Jacobs again on tired legs. The tap comes the way of Kennedy. Now Hanbury. Slapped back down, Jacobs bets. Saw Thompson got it to him. Only just though. And now Curvis and Hanbury, and the path will open for the Swans. Kennedy did what he could. Gets it to the danger man deep. Franklin Talia put his whole body at it. Went to ground. Cheney came through. Came streaming out with the footy. Back to the wing we go.
Jacobs can't move very good, boys. He's out there rucking, but he's not 100% fit.
Callum Mills. Again, that marking prowess. In towards full forward. Franklin waits.
Holding.
Sydney.
Yep, a hold. Parker had a good run at it. A tug on the hip, on the left-hand side of the hip. It was an early call by the umpire. It was there. They won't like it, the crowd, but it's totally there. You can't do that.
Just needed another marking option down there, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they threw Parker forward, who is dangerous in the air.
Siren sounds with Adelaide in front. And by the time it finishes ringing, Sydney are back in front. 3/4 time in the Adelaide Oval. 7 goals to 6 in that quarter. It is a thrilling Saturday night. For your pleasure at home, it's the Swans, who are just on the edge of being down and out, have kicked 3 late goals, and they're in front as we head to the final break. Can't wait already for the last term. Well, what a game of football for you on a Saturday night, and what a 3rd quarter. 13 goals in all. A real feast in front of the sticks. Young McGovern kicking 2 of them for the Crows. There was 5 goals in the last 6 minutes. The Crows got out to a 17-point lead and looked to be good things. Seedsman getting involved as well. But then Buddy Franklin got in on the act, kicked his 4th. And the Swans were able to string together 3 goals and take the lead after the siren. 12-8-80, plays 11-13-79. We're going to get down to David King right now, in fact.
Down here with Scott Cambrelli. Scotty, what'd you make of that last couple of minutes? They just snuck back into the game, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I was a little bit disappointed. We got done on a couple of contests here on the wing and they get some easy transition goals. So I thought we dominated the quarter, particularly around the contest. So,
have you spoken about your fourth quarter finishes? It's been a bit of a challenge for you all year, and the Swans will come hard. We know that.
Yeah, no, we haven't spoken about it, but we're a fit team. We can run the game out, no worries. I thought around the contest and stuff, for now running forward and see if we can challenge it.
Get up there and move those magnets, mate.
Thanks, mate.
What we do know, Derm and boys upstairs, is the Sydney Swans have not lost a fourth quarter all year, and the Crows, well, they're yet to win one.
Yes, They've been dominant in first halves, Adelaide, and not so good in the last quarter as those numbers would indicate. But it's a new game, so we'll see what's ahead in this last 30 minutes.
Might be a bit to do with the opposition they faced. They got North Melbourne in round 1, and I thought they were really well performed. North Melbourne just got the edge on them.
Missed a few shots on goal late.
Yeah. So they're probably not that far off it. Hometown.
Wind's blown to the left of screen.
So Adelaide will have that breeze. It is, as Kingy said, a bit swirly as well. Whether it'll be a factor or not, time will tell. Out of the middle in this final turn, and the first blood belongs to the Swans. Kennedy kicks to half forward. Papley, he just threw himself at it in desperation. A couple of interesting disposals, one from either side there. And it's back onto Douglas's left foot.
Not great, but it's going to work.
Gee, Tex looks tight.
He does. Walker comes out. Rampy got Sydney moving. Kennedy found the little holes through. Mills has become a factor, and so has Heaney. Got it in the air, picked it up on the ground. Papley misses.
Gee, that is brilliant work by Heaney, setting up another opportunity, and the young fella just rushed it.
Well, they're youngsters. Mills, Heaney, Papley, all involved in that passage of play.
Tex didn't look like he did too many stretches at three-quarter time there, Hutto, did he?
Once again, Isaac Heaney, how balanced was he when he recovered his own footy, hit the ground running?
Yeah,
That's a hold.
Had to be a free.
Just lingered long enough for the umpire to see it. Jacobs saying no way. Shakes the head, but Kurt Tippett has got Franklin deep. He's in the wrestle, and Talia will come as the extra to get the fist to it, which he did successfully. McVeigh, Parker, touch and go!
Oh. Great effort.
It's the post.
They've been very good at locking the ball in their forward line tonight, the Sydney Swans. Kicks a lot of their goals on the counter punch, coming the other way, but once it gets down there, Crows have found it tough getting it out.
Lines for Thompson. The smother was good from Lloyd. Sydney increased its lead from 1 to 3.
It's from the Gold Post Cam. Not the Gold Coast one.
You got that on the mind, have you?
On the throw in, Tippett, Hanbury, Douglas.
Now we'll see how Tex is moving.
Rampy moves, holding on to him there. Betts for Thompson. Lynch gives it plenty, not to the advantage of Jenkins at all. Callum Mills has shown his ability to read the ball coming in, another intercept mark.
Well, that's a kick and hope. You just hope that Adelaide don't fatigue so much that they just think the forwards will do everything, we just have to hoik it forward.
Brown, those last steps were lightning to get a fist to it. A wait for Jack, an uncomfortable one, and it's over.
Where they've been succeeding when they go forward, Adelaide, is when they punch the ball in low. You go in long like that, Sydney have been picking it off.
Here's Miller with an opening. He looked up and there were Swans players everywhere. Illegal disposal. Free kick to Mills again. Oh, dangerous kick into the middle. Hands it straight back to Seedsman.
Now he can, like Tex Walker, you love him on the run, but this lad can give it a serious hit. He's got a one wood on him.
Yeah, he has. Those kicks to the inside from half-back, they can set up goals, but they can cost you goals just as easy.
Seedsman, it's high. And it is straight, dead straight. Adelaide back in front.
Maybe a little bit of breeze up there, Derm.
That's the one wood.
Did carry, didn't it? Let's have a look at that kick.
Oh,
Gee,
Mills.
it was just...
You see Mills when he kicks it, watch him, he chases for 3 paces. He thinks, oh, what have I done? Go and get it. Watch. Oh, now I'm off. It's just an instinct to chase your poor disposal. What about this?
Big kick. Sydney Swans 5 contested possessions to Adelaide's 1 in this last quarter. Seedsman with another cracking goal.
He gave a little punch then, and the ball was just at the top of its plane. It hadn't even reached the line. He knew it was going over.
Kennedy right at the coalface, digging in again for the Swans, and comes out of the middle in clear space and shapes the kick for Heaney again. He looked likely in the air. Brody Smith
good hit.
Straight into Hanbury.
Let's see how Smith gets up from that Hanbury tackle. He looks okay. Let's have a look at it. Boom.
This has
Went
been
low.
an unbelievably tough game,
Isn't it?
Oh.
Holding Adelaide. Holding's not going.
Advantage taken by Laird. He looks up. It's one-on-one, all tight ahead. No clear advantage. Laidler cuts the corner well, then runs into lines, and the boundary line was a very welcome sight for Jeremy Laidler.
That's exactly what he did. Cut the corner and did it well. If he didn't get the hand of the ball, it was all over, and Lyons took a punt. Good footy, good defence. Bit of space to the front of the stoppage here.
Tippett, and Jacobs got the fingers to it. Parker, what a give to McVeigh. Look what it's created now. Jack on the overflow. The Swans pushing hard forward. Adelaide trying to defend, but he played on and he's gone. And Lynch there to try and profit. Bangs it up. Jenkins in the wrestle. Rampy comes again. And what a fist that was. Clean contact, it's over.
Don't say it.
No, I'm not.
He just called time on it, didn't he? The 8 seconds.
I don't know what happened there, to be
Just
honest.
drifted to the side, lateral. No natural arc this year. It's gone.
On the 50, McVeigh. It was a hasty kick out of there. Snaffled up beautifully by Laird.
Gather.
McKay back inside. Oh, tentative. It comes to Lyons around the corner. And it's over.
There's a chance. Look, they're playing chancy footy now, the Crows. They're a little bit excited. I keep talking
What do you mean, chancy footy?
Well, they're lofting the ball into the forward line. They're not lowering their vision and trying to hit up those lower targets and pierce the ball in there.
Well, they're a little bit excited. The crowd is a lot excited. Adelaide are in front by 3.
They'll pay that.
See, that's not the... He just kicked it out of a stoppage.
Smith
Unlucky.
deposits it in Eddie Betts' direction. It got over his head through the cracks, and they line up to try and concede the behind, and they almost stuffed it up. But they got the job done.
That's the technical version.
That is the term for a term. Laidler, 4 points now to himself. The former Cat, the former Blue. He's found a home at the Swans. At half-back, Laird again. What a player he's become.
He's good above his head for a small fella.
Gets up, just a bit feisty as well.
Will he lower the eyes here, Derm?
What's on the horizon for him? Sets it into the pocket. Eddie comes. Lynch was the intention with Walker, and it's over and out.
7 inside 50s to 3 in this last quarter, Adelaide. Ball's been playing in their half.
They have the only goal of the quarter.
Just what can happen when Sydney do this, though. Go straight down the other end with space in their forward 50.
Tippett, and now McVeigh just...
Well, you're dead right, Roo. You've got Franklin, and he's shown a clean set of heels to each and every opponent when the ball does come back out on the counter punch.
Adelaide need to make sure they've got a defender well behind Buddy.
Do they just leave it man on man against Buddy Kingy, or do they keep an anchor back?
They'd love to put 3 or 4 down, but they just can't afford to. It's a bit tight at the minute.
Here we go. Here comes Franklin up to meet it with Heaney. He cleared the path.
He's off.
He has a look. Sends it long.
Keep your
Parker. Now the race is on. Cheney and Mitchell. He should have him covered here. Cheney Mitchell kept coming. A little over-exuberant, fell on his back.
First second there in the middle of the ground. I thought it was going to be the sideways give handball to Franklin again.
They're unlucky, the Swans. They had Cunningham, Franklin and Heaney.
Yeah.
And Mitchell was the one they kicked out in front of. The race horses didn't get involved there.
Cheney kicks for Walker. Rampy there with him every inch of the way. Walker grabbed it, but the danger grows. Rampy, he's been defending Brantley all night. Gets a little flashing shot at goal.
Walker's not moving well, boys. He looks really tight. It was a sloppy give there. He looks tired. He's going to have to find something, the skipper.
Instant kick in is okay for Smith. Sums it up from the back pocket. Challenging one for Jenkins.
Oh, well done.
Grundy wins the day. Didn't give the instinctive handball, but now they've turned it over anyway. Thompson for Laird and Cheney.
Come on.
Thompson again. He's got Millerer. If you can see off McVeigh, he did just. Millerer. It's getting tougher and tighter out there. Mills just rifled out the handball. They've given it back. Thompson to the wing. It'll be a very busy intersection in a moment. They come. McGovern. They come from all angles on top of him. Tippett. Has he hatched it? No, he hasn't. It's a ball up. We've reached 14 minutes remaining in this final term. The goals have come to a stop. It was a feast in the third quarter of 13. There's been just one in this last quarter. They go at it again. Kennedy again starts them. High ball towers. Inside 50. Franklin couldn't get there.
I'm just watching, Roo, the matchup of McKay versus Hanbury, and both of them are getting forward of each other. It's a little shootout going on. They wouldn't be surprised if one of those two gentlemen would have kicked the next goal in this game.
Sydney getting on top in the stoppages too for the first time since the first quarter. 8-2 leading in the last quarter.
Papley, maybe tripped Thompson. No, nothing doing. It's over the boundary line again. Look at the exhaustion on the players' faces right now. Just taking the little seconds, the precious seconds that are there on offer. They're outnumbered at this stoppage, Adelaide.
And Curvis fresh, straight off the bench.
Jacobs got the tap down. Jack spinning through. And here's the extra number back for the Crows. Cheney didn't get it done. Franklin, Talia, Robinson, Lever. They're all over the top of him. He latches on.
How tough's Jack been? He has had a couple of really tough hits. Whiplash, maybe a bit of blurred vision, and he's still out there giving his all.
Sloan.
That's all goal. They look the better side at the moment, Sydney. They need to capitalise on a good little patch they're having. They're winning the clearances. They look a bit cleaner with the ball.
He's doing his best to put him off, that gentleman. Is that Pods?
No, it's not. It's one of the coaches doing. Here's Hanbury. Dan Hanbury. It's a good strike. It's a great strike. The Swans strike back.
Well, he has had a massive night now. Oh, well over 30 touches. Look at Kieran Jack here. Gets down low and cops a big knock early. Backs it up. Doesn't take much to
that hurt, and he
get that head going again after a big knock. But
and then he lays this. The team did.
How did
sorry.
Hanbury
He ran straight onto the ground and got the kick that went forward to that.
Look at those clearance numbers, 10-2 in this last quarter. As you said, right back on top where it all starts. Sloan fighting the battle, fighting the good fight for the Crows, and they needed it, and there's Walker on the spot.
See, that's not a deliberate punch in, but they play in front. Sydney's backmen decide to play behind, so those low punches that come in, they play to advantage.
Bensani looks tight since three-quarter time.
15 gone.
It's the distance he likes kicking him from. Can he kick a big skipper's goal?
Just stand behind him, Rory.
A goal each in this final term. Sydney increasing their lead to just 3 points. But Taylor Walker can change all that. And it hasn't. It's hit the post.
I think what we have learned about these two teams is that, as all best teams have, that other asset, that other way to score. When you're being beaten at clearances, you can find a way to stay in the game. And even though the Crows aren't a great clearance team, they've been brilliant tonight.
Hardigan was able to slap it back. And that allows Cheney just to deposit it for Betts, who flew. Miller loomed. Now it's Lynch's boot from Eddie's pocket.
That's insane.
What a goal! If you don't mind Eddie, I'll kick one from there. And Adelaide are back in front. That's his third goal.
But the swing on the ball here, even it makes the angle more acute, Roo.
Oh, that's the you have to kick it 100% right. There's no room for error, because if you kick it with swing, a bit of top spin you can get away with, but not too much curve away from the face of goal. That's a brilliant kick. John Longmire didn't have much to say there. You can't have much to say. It was a perfect snap.
There's not much he could do about that. He can't blame any of his players really there. I mean, that's just a brilliant kick.
Adelaide back in front, then Curvis gets the tap.
Got a face full of pitch.
Goes again against Jenkins. Douglas, Lyons, nothing doing. Douglas, small amount of territory only. Mills and McKay. In a wonderful duel, these two sides. Look at Rampy still running on top of the Adelaide Oval turf. The kick inside from Parker. The challenge is on again with Talia and Franklin. They did him with numbers that time. The handball was exquisite to Lever. Nice little work from the young man. Keeps it low for Sloan. Straining every sinew to try and take the mark. Cunningham cleverly over the line.
Tex is cooked. I reckon Tex is cooked. He's carrying something and he's just soldiering on as best he can, but he's shaking his head now. He might even be cooked for the night now. He just could not get to that ball.
You'd have to find something, Dermot, your captain, wouldn't you? Unless you're dead set injured.
Clean escape for the Swans. McVeigh, again they go to Franklin, and again the Crows are on the job. Talia marks.
That's what I'm saying though, Roo. I reckon he's injured. He's cooked. He can't get to the fall of the ball.
He's not moving well at all, is he?
Atkins from half back, need to pinpoint the pass, did anything but. Laidler has it on his terms now.
Well, it can cost you a goal. Kick like that.
Franklin's got to combat too, but they'll go to him anyway. You need to find another path. Kieran Jack's been playing forward in the last few minutes. Tough one for Robinson. Now Papley. It's tight.
Second shot for him in the final quarter.
Geez, just one misdirected kick by, not very far at all by Atkins in the middle of the ground to go straight down for a scoring opportunity.
I think the coach has assessed your version of events with the skipper too. He's gone straight to the phone, so I just need something from you. You're the skipper. Can you get back out there? I'm sure that's the conversation.
Game still on a knife edge. Adelaide by 3, and they've won the free, and the advantage reluctantly taken, it seems. Douglas, he looked up, the cupboard was just about bare, but he's kicked it to half forward. McGovern had to wait. It's a bit of a standoff. Rampy comes hard. In fact, it's Smith over the top, and it's over and out. And we'll have a throw in. And I think one thing we have learnt with both these sides, they have both quality teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to find out who the most efficient and super fit side is here. Who can still execute the skill when they're exhausted.
Tippett fends it down. Lyons gets them inside. Again, McGovern was the focus. Cunningham under pressure. Laidler's just blasted that one out of there. It's a pretty good kick.
Now Thompson's just come onto the ground about 30 seconds ago. He had about 2.5 minutes off, and in that time, I know Sydney have been winning more stoppages, but in that time Sydney won every stoppage. So he's their best player along with Sloan. They got that their two best players are at the footy now.
11-5 the clearances in the last quarter.
They nullify each other that time. Towers back to the wing. Thompson had his wits about him. Decided to go by hand. Look, Atkins taking them on. It opened for him. He waded through. Into the pocket goes the kick.
So that's what Grundy wants.
Yep. He was the first to react to the ball through the air.
He plays from behind, and the hack ball that comes up.
Play on call wasn't what Cunningham was expecting or wanting. Grundy just heaves it onto the boot. It's up for grabs. Lynch will fly. Lyons came hard as well. Coming from all angles. He gets the handball out. Rory Atkins. Listen to them roar!
Great goal, but before we talk about that, I've got to take my hat off to Nick Smith from the Swans. That hack ball, watch him stand under this, and they come from everywhere. He cops a big knee to the back. That's so brave, and the ball squeezes out in the end. Good hands sideways. Beautiful finish.
So good night, Atkins. Got a fair bit of the ball. Up to 23 touches now and a goal. Both sides just got to execute under pressure. Can't afford to fumble. You're going to be tired. You've got to concentrate on the execution. Make the most of every opportunity you get in the last 20 minutes.
Texas back out.
Adelaide's lead is now 9.
Kingy and marshalling the troops. He's pushed one back behind the ball already just to make sure that they've got an extra man down there if they get that quick centre break, as they have the clearance advantage at the moment, the Swans.
Jacobs holding off Tippett, got the tap down. Kennedy, you know what he's going to do and give, and now receives a free, which helps significantly. Dumps the handball, and Mills kicks it as long as he can. Franklin not in the contest. Parker flew. Lever, Papley and McVeigh.
Yeah, that's nearly holding the ball.
Put the cuffs on. Parker out for Mills. Now Hanbury didn't have the flying shot. Cunningham, all the groundwork's been done. No, still more to do. Cunningham on the low ball. Tough for Buddy. They're all over him. Hanbury comes in. And we are going to have a ball up, or are we? No, play on. It squirts out the back. There's a chance the Crows they could take it cleanly. Smith to Laidler. Can't get rid of it quick enough right now, and Grundy couldn't.
How much heat is in this game? These guys should be exhausted. It's been going flat out. They're still going.
Betts decides to go with the adrenaline pumping here. Jenkins has got it. He's tried to handball to himself, KB style. Plays it out in front. It's close to the boundary line, and it's over and out.
What a ripper.
Yeah. This is season high for me.
Yeah.
The heat out there tonight.
Adelaide holding on to a 9-point lead. Tippett gets it down. They're bending right now, the Swans. They haven't broken yet. 7 minutes remaining.
Feel like they need the next one, Hutto.
Hold the meter.
They've ramped the pressure up both teams.
Look at the pressure gauge, still -2. As Kingy said, when it gets out to 10, you're 80% chance of winning.
Great tackle again.
Betts was able to deal it out though. Lions swing and a miss. They crash on in. There's no room to move in there.
The other part to that pressure gauge, Drew, is the AFL average is 180. So to be going, both teams going at 210 plus.
They're 25% above. Both these teams 25% above the average.
Lions, it's high.
Where's Eddie?
Jenkins is in front. Rampy again with those strong defensive instincts, gets it over the boundary line. And more precious seconds tick away.
He's done very well on Tex. They switched him over about halfway through the second quarter. We've got the battle of the Tashes there. And Rampy's held sway, although Tex can kick him from downtown.
And still there's no room. Parker's a great man in those conditions. McKay found something. Laidler, good mark.
Well done.
Under serious heat. Jeremy Laidler takes the mark in front of McGovern. Wants to move it, knows they have to now. Towers gets to the front. Smith with a fly, but Lever. What a young defender he is. Staunch again. He can turn defence into attack. Adelaide working with this 9-point lead. Into the pocket, Walker, they were coming for him. Hits the ground, Mills. Had to give, had one option. Rampy.
Jack is on. Jack's out the back.
He is. Jack out the back. He can take it and stream towards goal. It's downstream here for the Swans. The goal's on. He can pass it over to Heaney. And he puts it through. And she's still well and truly on. There's more to come.
The recovery of Rampy in the back pocket meant everything to that ball, that procession with the ball then. Watch here. Is it? There we go. Just his ability to chip forward, lower the vision, bang. That was the disposal that set it up. Dane Rampy, really well done.
Brilliant footy, Sydney. Good attacking footy. They needed the next goal, and they got it. Back on. 3 points.
And the bounce a little low.
Good jump.
There goes Adelaide. Perplexed Kurt Tippett as they all surge forward.
Bit stiff.
Yeah, I don't know how you call that one.
Rampy got in front. Free kick.
Derm normally comes out with his first to 100 call. It hasn't come tonight.
It's 99 to 96. Been too engrossed in the action. What a game it's been. Last quarter, 3 goals, 2 to 2-4 in favour of the Crows. And seen them just nudge ahead. 51,330.
You could almost go with another one, Kingy. Next goal is not assured of winning.
Towers comes away cleanly. Just put it behind.
That's the cleanless under pressure there.
No, he's dragging the tackler. That's holdable. He ran forward carrying the tackler, but he wasn't really trying to get the ball out.
So Robinson sends it very wide for Hanbury. Had to let it bounce, which wasn't in the plans. Well done, Richards, though. Cleaned it up. Little torpy down the line. Heaney flies as it hits the ground.
Great
Kennedy, again, the sharp reflexes. And now Robinson, they're on the advance. McVeigh, difficult one to hold on to. And it sneaks out the back for another behind.
Sneaked out the back and only missed the goals by about a metre.
How good's Heaney? He lands like a cat. He's up. He's on all. He's got his bearings and balance as soon as he lands. He's set up so many scores tonight.
Lands on 2 feet, doesn't he?
Sets the challenge for Jacobs. And Tippett won't the crowd love it as Jacobs wins the contest against the adversary of Kurt Tippett. But it's not done yet. It's still on the wing and it's up for grabs. They handball their way into the clear now. Douglas emerges, tempted by the vacant square. He was. The temptation was great. Eddie Betts! Who else but Eddie? Couldn't be anyone else.
What a cruel bounce on Nick Smith. I thought they selected wrongly, but Eddie's just able to work Smith under the ball with the bounce that pops up.
Well, I think they did select wrong. Let's have a look at it. Douglas, we're talking about what choice does he go? He just ended up going to the top of the square. Tex can't hardly move. Smith was in the right spot. Eddie just used his body well and got the goal. Whoa, it was a bit of a shove from that angle.
That footy must be a balata. There was a lot of backspin on it. It worked to Eddie's favour.
Was it a push or not? Too late. Doesn't matter, I suppose. Eddie Betts.
What matters is that Adelaide lead by 8 and there's only 3 minutes 57 remaining.
Betts has 3.
Jacobs fends it down again. Hanbury, you know this Swans midfield will keep coming. Franklin up into the thick of the action.
Well, he's still moving well, Buddy, that's for sure.
Cunningham.
He's got more to give, Buddy.
Mills takes it wide.
Brave, well done.
Leaves him in there, Wake does Laird. And they can scoot along the wing. Good control from Atkins. He gets it to Walker. Leaves Rampy behind on those tired, aching legs. It's deep for Jenkins again. Got him where he wanted to. Is it a free kick? No, it's not. Grundy fights on to live another day. Jenkins can't believe it. There's arms flapping around everywhere out there.
That's the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's disguised that kick pretty well.
8 points the lead. Tip at the tap.
Just can't give a free kick here, Sydney.
Leads. Into the post.
Sydney got to kick 2 goals in 3 minutes.
Rampy knows the quickest way home. An ugly looking kick. And it doesn't have a great result.
Oh, that
could have been holding the ball. Yep. Mills was able to dig it up. Robinson, kick in hope, bangs it up to half forward.
He's kept his feet again.
Good struggle. Sloan Kane.
Try and milk the clock if they can, Adelaide.
Once again, Kingy Heaney keeps his feet and the ball just bounces to the opposite side of the pack.
Douglas is forward.
And the Swans, can they find the ball back? At the moment, it's keepings off. as Adelaide creep around the boundary.
That's a super hard workload. The effort there was superb by Lynch.
Oh, Lynch. Laidler. But then he misses the target. Atkins digging deep, weaving through into the pocket. Walker and Rampy again. And it's over, and we tick down to 2 minutes 11.
A few mistakes just creeping in with the tiredness, the ball handling. There's a few players out there still look like they're covering the ground, but there's a lot out there that are off their feet. They're hopeless. They're gone.
Well, the squeeze up here is going to work for Sydney. If they can't get a snap away here, Adelaide, and Sydney get a couple of short possessions.
Crouch snapping away behind it. Suit the Swans. It gives them back to footy.
Loose man, Rude. You need to chuck a couple back just to
yeah, absolutely. You'd have the anchor. You have to have the anchor now.
Right now.
Yep, they are. And they might be able to work it all the way.
Heaney's the last player here.
Yeah, he's in behind, but they've got to get it to him yet. Crow's starting to sprint back. Whatever effort they've got left to give, they're trying to right now. McVeigh, meantime, controls the footy, heads it inside.
Mitchell's
and here
back.
he is, Heaney. He hasn't marked it, he's got the free.
Still plenty of time.
Well, when you say that, there's 93 seconds and they need 2 goals.
Well, you can kick 2 goals pretty quickly, but there's no room for error.
Front on contact, free kick all day long.
You take the shot?
Well, the way he's playing, yeah.
He'll kick it.
From outside 50, Isaac Heaney.
That's touched, I reckon.
Well. He believes it's a goal.
Score, dude. Umpire's call is a goal. Can we just check?
I think the players think it's a goal.
Well, the night he's had, it's probably is a goal.
I think he should have said, it's an unpopular call, but I would think it's a goal.
That's a goal.
It's there.
A goal. What a game Isaac Heaney's playing.
That'll be his 4th. Kingy said, what are you going to have to get, 1 or 2 players behind the ball? Adelaide, right now, the coaches would be making that decision. Let's have a look what they choose to do. But if you win the ball, you also got to have something to go to in the forward line. You can't have too many.
Gone for power in the middle. Franklin's on the ball now. Tippett's on there. They've gone for the real hard workers in there.
I think they've gone too defensive. There's a loose player.
It's 11.
It's 1v3 in the forward line. Even if they win it, they're going to kick it to Sydney.
Parker, Franklin,
They've
Kennedy.
gone too many.
There's 11. There's 11 down there, Root.
Their most powerful on ballers now in the centre circle.
So it comes down to this. Adelaide by 4 points. 51,000 people watch on. Crucial release out of the middle. Who to? The covered bear. Walker. It's going to bounce into the pocket. That was perfect because it doesn't give the ball back.
You know what?
Gee.
Now this is a really
Is that
hard
deliberate?
call. Of course he meant it.
What?
Of course he meant
That's
it.
what I said. Is it deliberate?
He absolutely meant
Well,
it.
no one even yelled out for it. I would have thought that was probably
Well, the crowd were
deliberate.
going to yell out for it, Roo.
He kicked a deliberate end over end. You can't ping it. He's kicked it from 90.
Well, throw in the pocket. They need to get it out of here and get it out of there soon, Sydney. With a big kick, Parker does that. It's back to the wing. Heaney can't take the mark this time. Mitchell, they inch their way forward. Now an impasse. Time and the footy on the side of the Crows. Jenkins, as much territory as possible. We're down to 40 seconds. This is where heroes are made from half back for the Swans. No, it's all Adelaide. It's Eddie again. The killer blow. Enjoy this. The Adelaide Oval erupts.
You've got to take your hat off to the Swans. They've been so brave. I want you to watch Rory Sloane. We know his bravery, but he sees the cavalry arrive and he pulls out a standing under this and then decides, I'll be the front and centre.
Well,
forces
smart.
it forward, gets a hand on it, and it squeezes it out the other side.
What about the big Tex? He was out on his feet. You said he might not come back out, but he's had 2 really big plays in the last minute. First one, just to make ground and get it out of bounds and almost disguise it as not deliberate. And then the second one there was just to pick off Eddie Betts. Don't know if they can get 2 goals in 28 seconds, Sydney, but they're going to have a crack.
Centre bounce. Has to be clean, obviously, out of there. Skies it instead. Tough one for McVeigh. They come from all angles. Crouch and the Crows, and Eddie, who's kicked 4, gets it to half forward as the clock counts down to the last 10 seconds. They've been brave all night, no more so than Rampy, trying to send it forward, but it's too little, too late. 5 seconds, 4, 3, siren about to sound.
He'll run it down.
And the Crows get it done. What a win, what a game of football. We've loved what we've seen from the Adelaide Crows this season, but we weren't sure until tonight about what this form meant. But now we know it's real and it's magnificent.
Whoa. Well, we're round 4, Hutto. And we're looking at 2 teams worthy of top 4.
Just like a final. It's a cliche, I know, but that's what it felt like, Roo.
A lot of people, a lot of good judges had both of these sides outside of the 8, didn't they? And they're probably both surprising just about everyone, maybe even themselves, the way they're going at it early on in the season. That was a cracker game, really tough, really hard. Good players at either end kicking good goals, and it just went the full distance.
Well, Eddie Betts had 19 possessions. He kicked the sealing goal in the end.
And here he is, Derm. Go, Kingy.
Yeah, down here with Eddie Betts. You're a bit wounded. You're a bit tired, mate. You got cleaned up late, but what a fantastic game.
Yeah, we always knew it was going to be a tough game. Sydney Swans are a super team, and we just thought if we put the pressure on and just keep getting it down to our forwards, we'll kick some goals and we'll end up getting the win, which is good.
It was a real arm wrestle though all night. Really tough game, in tight, super physical. You expected that to be the case, the Swans coming over, but you more than matched them.
Yeah, it is, and I think the last 2 years we've given them games up. Teams have overrun us, and to our credit, we stuck to it, stuck to our structures, won the contested ball, and got it forward, which is good.
Kicked another one from your pocket over there. I'm mounting a campaign to get a plaque over there, just with your name on the fence over there. You love that spot, don't you?
Nah, it's always fun to kick a goal from there. The crowd gets into it, they get me going and get the teams going, which is good.
You need a rest, mate. Go have a spell. Well done, great.
He can hardly talk.
Oh, we're just going through some of the stats. Adelaide laid 80 tackles, Sydney 86.
He deserves more than the plaque over there, Eddie, doesn't he?
Oh. The ball has no right to go through over there. One bloke who laid 10 tackles himself and just had an amazing game, David King, was Rory Sloane, and he almost stood under that one but made the right decision.
No, he's had a fantastic night again. You're off to a flyer again this season, Rory. That was a fantastic performance. Must be proud of the boys.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, Sydney are in incredible form, and their contested stuff is the best going round, so we knew we had to match them in that area, but so proud of the boys. That was just an intense game, and yeah, what a game of footy, hey?
Just before three-quarter time, they kicked 3 quick ones. You thought, oh, here they come, the Swans. What was the message at three-quarter time? Can you remember what you said to the boys?
Yeah, look, for 20 minutes that quarter, I thought we were on top and playing really good footy, but they got a couple of quick ones late, but we just couldn't let that get to us. We knew if we kept pressuring them and getting the ball forward that we'd run over the top, but yeah, a bit close for comfort at the end, eh?
Well, they're a great clearance team, and that is their mode. It has been for some years now, but you more than matched them in there for certainly the last 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, definitely, and that was a huge focus area for us going to the game. I mean, we've got a whole range of guys that rotate through there now. I mean, Scotty Tomo, Matty Crouch, Richie Douglas, Dave McKay. I mean, we've got so many guys that can run through there. I think that's a real strength of ours.
Great reward for a new system, a new program. Don obviously only been there a short period of time. Everything's new, everything changes, but it is a great reward and a stamp for that program.
Yeah, it is, and I think we're seeing some benefits of it now. I mean, last couple of years we really just had to focus in on our defence, and that's where all our attack comes off.
Good luck, mate. Go and enjoy this one.
Yeah,
the crowd are certainly going to.
Thanks, Kingy. Thanks, mate.
19 contested possessions out of the 20.
So there you go. What a game it has been at Adelaide Oval. What a day. Talk about Super Saturday of football. It has been absolutely magnificent today. We're going to go through all the highlights in a few moments' time. It has just been one of those days out of the box. A true Super Saturday. Hope you've enjoyed it right here on Fox Footy. Unbelievable. As you can see, the other scores today, it was a beauty down in Tasmania with Hawthorn getting up just against St Kilda, who were magnificent in defeat, but some controversy there. Essendon Geelong, well, the Cats got home in the end by 5 goals, but it was only in that last quarter. Brisbane Lions, well, they got their first win of the season and one of the biggest controversies of the season so far with a massive hit on Stefan Martin. Carlton were pretty good against the Western Bulldogs. Injuries galore there. We'll go through that in a few moments' time. It's been a great night for the Bulldogs on the scoreboard, but a shocker on the injury front for the Western Bulldogs. And as we saw, Adelaide Crows getting up against Sydney. It has been an absolute day of highlights. Don't hold back. The Jeep don't hold back moments. No one was holding back on the ground or in the stands. We'll be back with everything after this.
Don't hold back moments. Brought to you by Jeep.
So amazing scenes at Adelaide Oval. The crowd going nuts. Scotty Thompson with 27 disposals leading the Crows off the ground. Eddie Betts 19 possessions, 4 goals, including the 2 that nailed the game closed. Lynch kicked 3. Paul Seedsman 51 weeks ago won the Anzac Day medal for Collingwood. Tonight he kicked 2 big goals for the Adelaide Crows. McGovern kicked 2 for the Swans. Buddy Franklin with 4. Heaney was magnificent with 4. Tippett 2 goals. Not popular with the Adelaide Crows fans, as you can imagine. And McGlynn a couple of early ones. But it was a wonderful night. Daniel Hanbury 38 possessions. Kennedy 28 and Parker 26. Sydney led by 3 points at quarter time. Adelaide by 2 at half time. Sydney by a point at quarter time. And at the end of the match, it was the Crows by 10 points. Yeah, jubilation in the Adelaide Crows rooms, and so they should. 16-17, 113. This was an arm wrestle from start to finish. 15-13, 103. The Sydney Swans, they walk away. Both these teams walk away going, right, we are the real deal in season 2017. You can see the stats there. Eddie Betts, just magnificent. Kicked a ripper from the Eddie Betts pocket down there at the Adelaide Oval. And as you can see, the stats there, everyone was in form. Franklin was looking great. Heaney was magnificent. Tippett was amongst it. And, well, the Adelaide Crows prevailed by 10 points. And if you reckon that's big, wait till you see some of the highlights from the other games. Injuries, controversy, bumps, reports, marks, goals, all still to come. Before we get there, Nerily Meadows has got a little bit of a headline action for us for tonight's AFL Tonight show.